Imagine how much then can actually be worked on, because you're looking at about 443 billion needed for land or compensation. Then you're looking about only 682. Then how much remains to be able to actually work on the roads? Like the minister did confirm, that is going to be a little hard if more funds are not allocated, because you look at areas that are amounting to 1.072 areas that are supposed to be paid by the government. Then you imagine how much money remains to be working on the roads, because Bunyoro sub-region having oil and gas, but you also have AFCON coming in, you have a stadium coming in, major projects happening in Bunyoro sub-region, but then the state of roads actually continue to cripple service delivery, especially for farmers who have to access markets, or people that are actually supposed to be moving in and out of Bunyoro sub-region. Is something we continue to wait to see, because our parliament was adjourned, and we expect the Speaker of Parliament to convene the parliament on Tuesday to discuss about some of these issues, because then last week the minister in charge of finance was not available to address some of these challenges. But of course the country is eagerly waiting to see what will be debated or discussed in the parliament in terms of roads, because there are so major infrastructure roads that are needed to be worked on in this country. For now, that's fair for me, but of course, wait to see how that will impact, but also how government will be able to respond to some questions. For now, it's fair morning in Hoima. Trace and Dalton at the Political Command Center. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Alan Mwesugwa. It is very worrying indeed, especially in the Hoima, that is the Bunyoro region and that particular sub-region. Right now, especially with all the projects that are upcoming, you did speak of the stadium, we have oil, we have all these very important projects the government is undertaking, and that will be stalled by the slow progress in terms of the road infrastructure. If they're saying it's halted, then what does that mean for the region and the prospects it holds? Let's now switch to Adjumani, where Martin Okudi joins us. Martin, a very good morning. Over a period of time, you have covered infrastructure challenges, particularly in terms of transport within the West Nile region. Now, with the pronouncement by the minister about the halting of some of these major projects, what does that mean for the West Nile region?
A very good morning to you, Tracy, Dalton, and the viewers. This is equally affecting the West Nile region, but specifically, let's focus on Madi sub-region that comprises of 3 districts, including Adjumani district, we have Moyo, and we have Obongi district. When we talk about the infrastructure development here, government is not doing enough to improve the road infrastructure here in Adjumani district, because when we look at the road heading to Obongi, where the Obongi ferry landing site is easily accessed by the travelers, it is one of the major road link that has been giving trouble to the even the Ministry of Works, Ministry of Transport and Works officials, because this road is a major road that links Adjumani and then Obongi district, but reaching to the ferry landing site is a challenge because of a poor road network. Apart from that, there's also a challenge while accessing the Uganda-South Sudan border via Elegu. The road that side is equally not okay. Like here, I'm standing in Minia West Village within Adjumani Town Council. Behind me are school children going to their respective schools, but they find challenges. What they can now use is they have resorted to using road reserves, because the main road, when it rains, gets flooded. In Moyo district, the road from Laropi via Moyo town to Uganda-South Sudan border at Afoji is in a dire condition. Yesterday, we were made to understand that several passenger vehicles, including heavy trucks, got stranded on that flooded road. And then there's also a challenge while moving to Obongi district via from Moyo. to Obongi district, which is also hosting quite a number of refugees. This is affecting refugee operations as well, including medical referrals, and then also farmers here are now, some of them are now unable to transport their produce to the nearest market. You can see these are the learners, the few learners who will have to maneuver their ways through the flooded road before they could access the nearest school, which is within 𝐿 Town Council. The authorities here are saying the road equipment that were given to, allocated to all the 3 districts are not adequate for maintenance of some of these road links. The road links that are affected are mainly being maintained by the Ministry of Works and Transport, including the district. But you may find that if the equipment is, for example, in 𝐿 Town Council, Ofua sub-county have to wait for close to 4 to 3 months to be able to access the district road equipment. The district road equipment given by government is only one set road maintenance equipment, meaning if it is in another sub-county, the other sub-county have to wait. Right now, Ministry of Works and Transport is working on the Adjumani-Sinyanya road, but much as there is ongoing work due to the heavy downpour, you may find that some of the sections are not being worked on. That is the situation here in Madisa region, especially in Adjumani, Obongi, and Moyo districts. Tracy, Dalton, and the viewers, back to you at the Political Command Center.
Thank you so much, Martin Okudi, there giving us a detailed analysis of what the road infrastructure looks like in West Nile and giving us a particular look at the Madi area. Now, let's look at the situation in Soroti. Eddie Enuru joins us and gives us a conclusive analysis of what that looks like. But it is definitely a very, very, sad turn of things.
It's, well, I just saw it comment over
27 major road projects suspended.
Also saw different pictures that were shared on social media yesterday about the pathetic condition of many of the roads, and it's, it made me smile when I saw Honorable Norbert Mao quote one of the pictures and say, guys, this road has been in the budget. Something needs to be done about it. And the reality of things, there are roads that will be in the budget for 5 years and they're not worked on. But the political statement that is being made to people, a gullible population, that whenever the president said, these roads in this budget are going to be worked on, they think that actually that very financial are going to be worked on. That is not the case. Let's go to Soroti and find out the state of roads. We are looking at the infrastructure, and definitely we'll have Eddie Enuru, who will be giving us much more. But before that, we need to go to Mbara, right, and find out from Gasha. He calls himself Gasha in his peers, but he's called Gasha. It will be Alex Gasha who giving us what is happening. Alex, it is the morning here at the command center, and the day has really cleared. I don't know what is happening in the western Uganda. Has the day cleared so fast like it has in Kampala? What is at stake now? Alex.
Well, thank you very much, Dalton and Tracy. Good morning to you. Good morning to you watching us. Like you can see in my background, indeed, the day is clearing, although it is filled up with some dust. And that really tells you how our roads are needy to the government attention. But also what we know is that what is happening in the country regarding our roads is really the deeper details that maybe some of us have been missing, especially the critical Ugandans that really want to look at the critical issues regarding our development. So the deeper details are coming out because of the funding gap. But what I can tell you is that when you are moving across the region, especially our highways, then you will notice that there is still something that needs to be done about them. For example, looking at the road that is Mbarara Bushenyi Ishaka Highway, that has been a conversation for some time, from the taxi operators to the pedestrians to the border users. The conversation has been about that road. In fact, last week, the Speaker of Parliament talked about the same road because I think a month or two ago, she was in the region soliciting for support for her SEC position, and indeed she moved across this road, and indeed she saw how dire it is in terms of redeveloping it, re-expanding it, rehabilitating it. So indeed she was mentioning that the money is released, but she doesn't know where it goes, and that road is indeed in a sorry state because one, it has huge potholes, number two, it is narrowing each day, and it is also filled up with huge potholes. So it is affecting the road users, and yet actually high profiles use that very road. If you look at the Deputy Speaker uses the road, if you look at the local government minister, Honorable 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐿 uses the road, the president during the parish development model tour, he used the road. So they must have seen how their situation the road is. But also away from that, we also have Ibanda-Mbarara highway. It is also the same way filled up with potholes. It is also narrowing each day. The 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐗𝐓 road is also narrowing each day, much as it does not have huge potholes like the other two roads. But then these are roads that have been talked about, but also government says they do not have enough money to work on these roads. Now we have those that are not tarmacked yet. With that, for example, when you look at the Nsika with Wera Shema, that road continues up to Chitagata. That road has been in the budget for the last 15 years, and we have not seen it worked on. In fact, there's another bridge on that very road, that is Nyakambu Bridge. It also has been in the budget for over 15 years, and it has never been worked on. During the parish development model, the president talked about that road when we were in Shema, and he said it would be worked on this financial year. So we wait to see whether actually that road will be worked on. But since the minister says that about 2.42 trillion Uganda shillings is a huge funding gap, then maybe we may have to revise the budget. But also away from those, we have the access roads in our local governments. For example, here in Bara City, this is one of the roads here in Bara City, and it connects Katete to Nyamitanga, and that road also links to the 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐗𝐓 road, and it continues to the city center. So this is one of the access roads. There is also another one that connects from Bishop Stewart University to the city center. That also, these are some of the access roads that have not yet been worked on. But then what we know is that the UC Mead, the new phase of the UC Mead, not the use Mead, that this World Bank Fund probably could be used to work on some of these roads. So the situation of our roads indeed is a huge conversation, and when you look at the 10 trillion Uganda shillings that the country loses to corruption, then the argument could be that probably that part of that money could be funding some of these roads. That is what is happening here. Dalton and Tracy, let me get back to you at the Political Command Center. Good morning.
Well, thank you very much for that, Alex. At least you've given a great insight what is happening in the region, Western region. When it comes to roads, let's straight away go to Lira and find out from 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐿 what's different. Should we say in Lira? The last time I was in Lira, that was around 3 years ago. Yes, I didn't like the road. I don't know whether things have changed 3 years from now. Isaac, 3 years ago, I was in Lira, you remember, for that great Benson function. And I don't know, the roads were like mini graves. Have things changed? Isaac.
Dalton, what has changed, of course, is from Kamdini up to Lira City. That's, of course, a ride that you'll enjoy once you enter Lango Sub-region. But, of course, outside Lira City, what will greet you? Take, for instance, if you're heading to Otuke district, you'll have to take a detour and go through Leptong district, that is a Loi road, and of course you go up to Otuke. But of course the current state of the road that would link, of course, those moving from Lira to Otuke within 45 minutes now takes you up to about 2 hours, because you have to wade through the swampy areas that, of course, we have seen vehicles getting stuck. And this has been a concern for, of course, a long time, because this is a specific area where the president has a presidential lodge, and of course there's been that outcry from the locals within that community and the entire district of Otuke for this road to be tarmac. But of course nothing has been done so far, and of course we have not seen in the last 3 years these roads being graded. So with the torrential rain that is being received within the region, has made it, of course, impossible for most of the heavy vehicles that goes to the weekly markets within that particular district. But of course, another road is that of course connecting from Dokolo to Namasale in Amalata district. This is one critical road that we have seen a number of times being presented before government, and of course there's been assurance. There have been assurance that, of course, always been given to the people within the districts that it will be worked on. But up to date, we have not seen, of course, much work being done on this particular road. The only grading that took place about 2 weeks ago was from Dokolo town, and that is up to Ocheros. And so the locals within some spots are taking it up upon themselves, and of course carrying wheelbarrows, hose, and trying to fix a pothole so that the trucks, the vehicles that are moving from Dokolo town to Amalata district are able to, of course, go without taking that detour that they've been taking, right from Dokolo to Kaberamaido, and then connecting back to, of course, Amalata district. These are just the state of roads. It depends a lot. If you go to areas like Kola district, Apache district, Kwania, Oyam, the state of roads is wanting. And of course, there's been that outcry that the leaders themselves, the locals, have been raising that this roads has to be worked on. And with the current, of course, statements that came from the Minister of Works that there are no funds to be working on some of the key roads within the regions, what we'll be seeing is, of course, that locals will be taking it upon themselves to fix these potholes and, of course, see that it is motorable for those who are trying to use them. Dalton. For now, and we're back to you at the political command center.
Quite interesting. Yeah, thank you, Isaac. And at this point, Tracy, where do you want to go?
I want to check in with Joseph Omagor,
okay.
And that takes us to Arua next. Arua City is one of those ones that recently got its city status. I want to find out with Joseph if the city status corresponds with the road infrastructure. Is it telling of that status, Joseph?
Okay, thank you so much, Tracy. Good morning to you. I want to start from the outside the city. For those who have had the chance to travel from Noya district to Nebi to here in Arua City, know how bad the state of that highway is. It's totally messed up. And if you are traveling further north in the remote areas of Yumbe, it's even worse because you are using the highway from Koboko to Yumbe. It usually takes about 5 minutes from Yumbe, but when it has rained, that is 2 hours. Then if you're not traveling from Adioko to Terego districts which are on the banks of River Nile, it's even worse. But here in Arua City, the challenge has been that we have 2 rivers that run across the city. One is River Enyao right in the background, and the River Osu. And this has affected the road network here because the maintenance has been very expensive. And I want to speak with this gentleman here in the background. Start with Mr. Adat. Kindly explain to us how the road network here is.
And if you have this road, the people of Central Region we shall organize it. It is as it is that you have seen, and the people are not happy. We are wondering, where is the view of the people? Has it been ably presented to the government that these roads have to be made? Then the one of also, you really can't mention. Accidents have been occurring left, right, and center, and so forth. The road is very bad. This one is very bad. Actually, when yesterday I was reading through the newspaper, I heard when the minister was saying some of these works have to be suspended. It left me questioning. Okay, what is happening? Because the people already have a contract, a social contract with the government, that they pay taxes. In return, social infrastructure must be made clear for them.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let me just maybe for you, what is the issue with the road network here in Arua City, and what do you want to see government to do?
You know, our road networks here in Arua City, you'd find that much of the road coverage we have here is not tarmacked. And these roads are only sometimes usable during dry season. And you find them totally inaccessible during rain season. You find they are not even the good quality of Maram, and it's all muddy. If you see this road heading towards Congo, it's a lucrative road for us. It would be a very good road that will connect us to very many business opportunities. But then we cannot always do these businesses from around October to December and January. Okay. We need this to be all through the year. But then if the roads are like this, okay, how are we going to grow? How are our farmers going to be accessed? How are small businesses going to be growing along here?
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, we shall continue this conversation. These two gentlemen are rather MP of this area, and of course the issue is how does this road connect us to Congo? The same applies to the educationist here, that's Abeku, and of course the issue about roads is not just in the other parts of the country, but also here in Arua City. Back to you at the Political Command Center.
Thank you so much, Joseph Omago. Let's now check in with Soroti City, and this time Eddie Enuru brings us up to speed with what the situation is there in regards to the road infrastructure. Eddie, in terms of Soroti, how are you faring? Seem to have challenges getting to Eddie, but for now we take a short break. When we return, we continue to take a deeper look at what the situation is across the country and much more, including a topical discussion. Let's now take a break.
Professor, reflecting on your time in the highest office, many people viewed you as a potential successor.
Potential successor to Yoweri Kaguta Museveni are not so many.
What were some of the political dilemma that you faced at the time?
The very difficult dilemmas is these mafia groups. They can actually break you so that you can never see the fountain of honor of this country.
Does it mean that the current leadership, without the president, the party does not exist?
It would be very difficult.
'What if everything you believed about leadership isn't what it seems? What if the real power lies not in your title, but in your truth? From navigating crisis to embracing vulnerability, we've delved into the essence of authentic leadership. Season 1 cracked the surface, but in Season 2, we're going deeper, rawer, riskier. I'm sitting down with disruptors, dreamers, and decision makers who dare to admit they're still figuring it out.
2026 is calling, and your voters are watching, listening, scrolling and streaming. Ready to lead? Then it's time to be seen, heard and remembered. Next Media is your campaign partner. From TV to radio, digital to mobile, even influencer power, we get your message everywhere. Whether you're running for MP or local council, it's your time, your voice, your victory. Book your space now with us on 0761 001 890. Curious to know who supervises government projects? MPs oversee the implementation of government programs and regulate public expenditure through the budget process. Your MP monitors and informs the executive the misuse of government funds, violations of rule of law, and unlawful activities in any part of the country at large. Your member of parliament is your representative. Make your voice heard. This message is brought to you by the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda.
Welcome to Finns Medical University, the only specialized health sciences university in East Africa. Fully licensed, NCHE accredited, and approved for a charter, Finns is your trusted path to a brighter medical future. Now accepting applications for degree programs in Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery, Pharmacy, Lab Technology, Weekend Nursing and Midwifery, Medical Education, Tutorship, Diplomas in Nursing, Midwifery, Clinical Medicine, Pharmacy, Lab Technology, and certificates in Nursing, Midwifery, Pharmacy, and a bridge course. With state-of-the-art labs, a conducive learning environment, and real clinical practice, your journey to excellence starts here. Find us in Fort Portal City, Western Uganda, or email us on www.fmu.ac.ug or call us on 0787 813 575 or 0705 177 484. Finns Medical University. Saving lives, our passion.
President's assents to the Uganda People's Defense Forces Amendment Act 2025. Here's what you need to know. Section 4B of the Act creates the Office of the Deputy Chief of Defense Forces with the additional role of Inspector General of the Armed Forces, while Section 4E officially creates the Office of Commander, Special Force Command.
Imagine East Africa. Imagine an East Africa united. Over 400 million people, one market, one vision, where goods move freely, industries flourish, and policies are harmonized. This is the future we're shaping at RIC 2025, the Regional Industrialization Conference.
We all need light in this life, and at Lighting City, we make sure we light up your world in the way that you deserve, with the widest range of classy and unique selection from all over the world, with our customized products like Lighting City chandeliers, wall lights, Lighting City outdoor lights, spotlights and strip lights, bedside lamps, floor lights and garden lights. We also deal in electrical items like switches, electrical cables, and so much more. Find us in Kampala, 5th Street, Industrial Area, Chinese Business Hotel, opposite Mosque. Lighting City, the 21st century electrical and lighting store.
Streaming non-stop with the all-new Afro mobile data bundles, built for non-stop vibes to keep you locked into your favorite shows with no limits. Get 4 GB for just 1K a day, 10 GB for only 4K a week, or 30 GB at only 10K a month. And yes, that price covers both your data and your Afro mobile subscription. You heard that right. No codes, no hassle. Just download and open your Afro mobile app, subscribe, and you're good to go. Wherever you are, whatever you love, keep the vibe going all day, all night with Afro mobile. Streaming non-stop, powered by MTN.
Welcome to the Snack and Vibe.
Kapeke 19 Kapeke Teme single
Request show with Prince Mayanja doing nothing but the most.
Request with the one and only Prince. Ogenda Kushidaba by Tracy Milan.
Play for me Believer by Leica Music.
Lonely by Justin Bieber.
You know when you see me.
28 by Ruth B. I dedicate it to my mother.
All my friends are hardly.
Stay tuned, Snack and Vibe. Request.
Make the trumpets blow.
I'm Edward Kazire.
I'm the chairman, 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐗𝐓 Group of Companies. Looking at statistics, millions of tons of plastic get deposited into the environment. And we depend on the environment. So if we don't act quickly, we shall find challenges. The first thing is to make sure we correct plastic to gazetted areas. Also, calling on scientists. I'm one of the scientists now doing research on plastic technology recycling, where we can be able to produce other products from plastic waste. And once doing that, we create value to this waste. For example, we are trying to develop a plastic tile with sand plastic tile, that it is unbreakable, it can be shifted from one roof to another. So this is a project we are working on. It's our initiative as 𝐒𝐒𝐄 Group of trying to reduce waste from the environment, but also not simply removing, but creating value to this waste, that we can create more jobs, more people will be employed in the correction centers, and also people will be employed in the production lines, but also we shall create, we shall have put more affordable and sustainable building materials to our communities. Brothers and sisters, Tasso Butonde for a better Uganda.
Brought to you by NEMA, KCCA, Airco, Now Breweries, Centenary Bank, Prestige Margarine, Stanbic Bank, NBS, National Forest Authority. '26 is calling, and your voters are watching, listening, scrolling and streaming. Ready to lead? Then it's time to be seen, heard and remembered. Next Media is your campaign partner. From TV to radio, digital to mobile, even influencer power, we get your message everywhere. Whether you're running for MP or local council, it's your time, your voice, your victory. Book your space now with us on 0761 001 890. Are you ready to experience the ultimate in live events?
Can you sit? Can you sit?
From local to global, we bring you the most exciting events 24/7. Stay informed with live breaking news.
Habemus Papam.
Keep in the know of what's happening around you and beyond. NBS Live and filtered and missable. Exclusively on Afro Mobile.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Breeze. My name is Dalton Kawesa and welcome to this segment of this topical discussion. Now, this morning, we are going to speak to one of the big figures, political figures in this country, Honorable 𝐶𝐄𝐗𝐓 Nganda. We know him for his sharp criticism of government excesses, but also not only government, but also the member of opposition and how things are going. Good morning, Honorable 𝐶𝐄𝐗𝐓, and welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, we'll begin with your party. The last time we heard about your party was the launch. Is it alive, or it was just to keep the public that the 𝐶𝐄𝐗𝐓 group that broke away from Katonga exists but does not exist?
But you have covered our meetings. We were in last week launching leadership of in the Ankole and BS Kabadas. We were in Giri to do the same thing, launching leadership for Busoga sub-region, opening office, basically checking on the health of our structures. We will be in Bunyoro on 9th to do the same thing. We will go to Acholi, go to Lamu, because we are going to do most of our work at regional levels, sub-regional, because we've set up leadership. In each sub-region, we have a governor who is responsible for the districts, because at the time of independence, I think Uganda must have been about 12 districts, Because when Museveni captured power in 1986, Uganda was 39 districts. They are now 146. In our constitution and in our structure, we think devolution of power should be at sub-region. Even when we are setting up the leadership of PFF, it is national, sub-region, and obviously because the administration now is structured at district level. So we will be going to each and every sub-region to establish the leadership. We are swearing in leaders from the Ankole sub-region, the 13 districts, Busoga. So our programs are on course. Every day, if you had time, you need to visit Katonga. We have people who are now returning forms seeking to be nominated as candidates at various levels. Because we were issued a certificate of registration in the middle of an election year, electioneering, we are doing these things concurrently. Building the party, but also preparing people to go and contest for elections.
Beyond the launches and the vis-vis from different places of this country, we have had a history of political parties away from the party that is in government launch in big functions, but when you return after a week, either the office is closed or it was just a makeshift. And we've done stories from the newsroom checking the existence of these political, especially opposition political, in these places where they launch, and there's nothing. How different are you going to do it?
You were present, and we thank you. You covered the launch of our Wakiso office in Ichira. That office is very busy every day. So is the office in Mbarara, the office. There are also offices that are functional, but we haven't just formally launched them, but they are there. In many of the, if you go to Gulu, that office is functional, it is issuing forms and people are returning them. But it is possible to find some of the offices closed because political parties in Uganda, especially ours, depends entirely on the contributions made by the supporters. Sometimes those offices are offered for a period. Some of them we rent. Sometimes you run out of money, because I was running an office as an MP nearly for the last couple of years. You pay for an office, you pay for an attendant, and then you must meet other operational costs to run an office. Sometimes you run out of money and the offices have to close. The closure of the office doesn't mean that you now no longer have leadership and programs in the area. You may not have money to continue paying rent, money to continue paying the office attendant, and money for other operational costs, but the leaders will remain. Sometimes we operate from people's houses, not because that's what we desire, but that's what we can afford. But at the moment, the offices we're opening are there, they are functional, and they are busy because we have people who are picking and returning forms. I can't guarantee that they will not close. Maybe they will close and then we'll be opening others. I remember in 2000 and after the 2006 elections, I was still at the Observe. The very first National Resistance Movement Central Executive Committee meeting, at that time, Mr. Museveni told the SEC that he didn't say the party, but he said, I need 11.5 billion to run the offices. And he said, I'm going to close them until near elections. Everybody Kadaga protested, and then he had to continue. Of course, because for him, he has the luxury of using taxpayers' money. But also, I remember, even when I had joined politics, one time, he must have given Kaswelu about 25 billion, and said, I cannot continue paying for staff of NRM. Because the requirement, even to someone who picks money from the state. So running these offices is costly for parties that don't have a regular flow of income, parties that depend. Because I have said this many times, in this country, the levels of poverty, I keep referring to the Bank of Uganda Financial Capability Survey report, that first, in a country of 45.9 million people, you only have 2.7 who operate bank accounts. The country is 45. Only 2.7 operate bank accounts. And of those who are operating those bank accounts, those who earn more than $1 million are less than 1%. Majority of citizens who earn money, formerly earn money paid through banks, is 150 monthly below. One time, Father Carlos Rodriguez was authored, he's a Spanish, he was authoring an article in the Observer, he used to live in the Acholi. So he went to an ATM and collected receipts that people had abandoned there. He discovered that the balance on each of those accounts was less than 20,000 shillings, because he used to be a researcher, so he collected all those things that people abandoned. In the area where I am an MP, you go to a church, you go to a mosque, and people are contributing 1,500 shilling. So that's who we are as a country, the level of poverty, the state of our economy. So we may not continue running, but our activities continue.
Yes, despite the poverty, you must continue around this office. Yes, many people have said that you're occupying the new political party and the existing other opposition parties are really working in the same space. How different are you going to work and push PFF such that it gets a lion's share ahead of, because time is not at your advantage?
The opposition political parties, genuine opposition political parties.
Why genuine?
Because there are others who are working with the state. That's why I'm saying genuine, and I qualify them deliberately. And they are proud working with the state. The DP and Amao works with the state. And they don't have any problem with it. UPC, I think there is a divorce, but they have been working with the state many years. There are also others, some working formally, others informally. So the genuine opposition political parties do not have to compete with each other. The space, actually, all of us combined, we may not feel it. I have said this 100 times, and I may have to repeat myself. You go to areas like Karamoja, 26 MPs, because Karamoja now I think is it 7 districts. They have 26 MPs, none of them is opposition. We may not even have capacity to field candidates in Karamoja because of the nature of the area, all of us combined, not just one political party. So nobody should say that the space is very small for us. The space actually is bigger, we can't feel it. In the last elections, on closure of nominations for sub-counties, I think sub-counties were 2,900 at that time, they are now over 3,000. Closure of nomination, NRM had 350 chairpersons of LC3 who went through unopposed. Collectively as opposition, we are unable to field candidates. 350 went through unopposed. In the last elections, I was still in FDC, we were able to field candidates 220 something. But the constituencies and districts, today they are 490. At that time, we are fielding candidates only in half. The National Unity Platform fielded less, 184. The trouble that we have, all of us in the opposition, is that we fight for constituencies in urban areas and Kampala metropolitan. We never get to sit together to field the candidates in Ichisoro, in Karamoja, so there are, if you go to Sebei, so there are areas where, because it happens even in America, you go to some states where the Democratic Party is just present but it's not competitive. And nobody should feel sorry about that the areas in Uganda where the NRM is
strong. But you need to break that barrier. In UPC was its credo, was Lang or sub-region, but it was very prominent in
West. At the time, all state parties like the NRM will be present because they are using state resources, and human nature wants to associate with the success. People want to associate with the ruling party even when they don't believe in it. So the NRM will have volunteers everywhere, they will be sponsored. And politics in Uganda has become extremely commercialized. I have met candidates who have picked forms at the PFF, and majority of them want the party to support them, yet the party almost started yesterday. When you contest as NRM, you will have the benefit of the state. Museveni will give you money, they will lend you police, they will lend you the army. So you begin with an advantage. So many people, even when we are in FDC, there are many people in NRM who are FDC. Behind the scene, they tell me I'm still FDC, but I didn't have the capacity to win this. So that doesn't worry me. The same way UPC that had a president, I was born in Chazang. We used to see Obote going to Kushenyi every January something. And we were made to line up the roads to receive him. That is about 50 miles from, almost 80 from where he's going. So schools with our teachers would be made to go and line up to clap and sing for Obote as he's passing in the Mercedes-Benz. So state parties in Africa are going to be strong.
Maybe to understand it, Honorable Semju, yes, state parties have that leverage. Let's speak about the old DP. Yes, DP had presence across and it had never been in power. How do you explain that variance?
At that time, Uganda was more democratic than it is today. If you look at the elections of 1980, UPC I think had 63, I'm not sure, but the number is about there, 63 MPs, and Democratic Party had about 57. So UPC, in terms of numerical strength in parliament, was stronger than DP by just a handful of MPs. At that time, people were going into a democratic exercise. Today is a military campaign. You've seen even NRM elections themselves. It's a military campaign. It is a money campaign. And those who have captured the state obviously have an advantage over PFF and other parties, and they will continue doing so because for us, we are fighting. It's like comparing Museveni when he was in Ruwero with the government. You look thin, you look smaller because of the conditions, not because the support is not there. I remember in 2006, 𝐍𝐄𝐗 won elections in Buvuma. But he did not have parliamentary candidates. He did not have candidates at the council levels. But he won. 𝐍𝐄𝐗 has been winning elections in the north, in Lango. Even at the time 𝐍𝐄𝐗 was winning elections in Lango, we only had one MP, Cecilia Ogwal. So it is not that the support is not there and you're going to be judged by the number of candidates that you are fielding. I became an MP at that time it was Chadondo East. And I only had one councillor, David 𝐶𝐒𝐶, only one.
From FDC?
Yes. But I won, and 𝐍𝐄𝐗 won. So for us to persuade the people even to offer themselves is still a very big task.
So you've just diagnosed it so well. The opposition is concentrating in Kampala metropolitan and maybe urban centers, and you know how to do it. What formula should be done? Why ain't you in talking terms such that maybe you have filled these people in a park? What is the major hindrance?
I think the desire is there by many leaders, but because politics in Uganda has become a form of employment, even those of us who are fighting and elbowing each other in these urban areas don't do so because there is a service that we want to offer. But we are in an economy that has failed, private sector that is not thriving. So Semju and others who are fighting for a parliamentary seat don't do so because they want to go and do better in parliament, but they want to access that employment, the only one maybe in Uganda that you, probably at the moment you can compete for. Because in the public service, you need to know people who are in power, who are going to rig the processes in your favor. In the last elections, I think you had the opposition candidates in Makindi East, either 9 or 7. So when you total up the number of opposition candidates at a parliamentary level, they are more than what you require to fill the candidates in all parliamentary positions in Uganda. When you total up the number, UPC, DP, PFF, but they are competing for the same positions. we don't look at this as a sacrifice that someone should walk in an area where you don't have an MP. Someone would rather walk to Kira instead of going to Chiboga or instead of going to Kabola. I have told you we are in Mbarara launching our office and swearing in new leaders. From mainly around the Antonde Kabola deep into Ankole. And this has been the situation because I have moved with Dr. 𝐍𝐄𝐗𝐓 in many presidential campaigns. You don't find, or you can find 1 in 100 posters of opposition aspiring candidates at a local level and at a parliamentary level. And then you're going to find multiple. We are even fighting over electric poles to find space in Kampala and Wakiso. But you go to Mbarara, you go to Isinjiro, you go to Mitoma, and there is a single yes. So because those of us who are running political parties ourselves are also candidates and are aspiring for these jobs around Kampala and Wakiso. So it is still a trouble. I don't know how we'll overcome it.
Opportunity.
We, at least in PFF, we are trying to speak to everybody that we can genuine opposition parties, and that should be the conversation. Because our conversation, recently we signed the memorandum of understanding for cooperation with ANT, and we are looking at energizing and maximizing both the human and financial resources available to us, but also to begin discussing the future of Uganda. Because when you have an 80-year-old president, whatever happens, and Museveni has been generous. The last time I saw him in Kolo, he was telling traders who were protesting over tax administration that he is about to be called by God. So if you have an 80-year-old president who himself, and even if he didn't, knows that he's living in the evening of his years, that country faces uncertainty. Nobody knows which direction it will take. Even in countries that are stable. I remember when Magufuli died, there are people in Tanzania who didn't want Suluhu to be the president. I remember in Zambia they faced the same problem when his name has skipped my mind. Their president died. When Ehadema in Togo died, his son wanted to take over. Yet their constitution was very clear that the Speaker of Parliament will be the next president until elections. So, and the temptations in Uganda are there. I don't know how many times Museveni's son has proclaimed that after my father, I'll be the president, assuming his father died tomorrow. Do you mean there will be a process? So these things worry us. So our debate is not just a debate.
Don't worry, you're not even prepared.
We're not going to come on NBS and lay all our preparations. Then sometimes you're asked by the media, what is your plan? Then if I tell you it is not my plan, then I have no plan. But internally we are discussing. There are many things we are discussing, both within political parties, some civil society organizations, the academia. Because there are others who are doing work behind the scene and they don't want to come on TV and declare that they are doing work. But we've been meeting people.
Of course, you may
not know that.
We must agree that the character, the body must show that there is actually a fundamental plan you're dealing with. But speaking about the approach of seeking unity, coalition with different players, something that has been spoken about, PFF and ANT. Yeah. You parted at the time you were in FDC, and I remember very well for you, initially you had sided with Mugisha Muntu, you worked with him, then suddenly ANT was born. What has changed now that the people you disagreed with on approaches, now you are again working with them?
I have said, and let me repeat, political parties the world over will aggregate people's interest. If you begin, and I'll answer this way, if you begin by looking at Museveni, there are people he has disagreed with sharply, even imprisoned them. Moses Ali is one of them. I remember we went to Buganda Road to attend the court, and some of our colleagues stood surety for Bet Kamia, who is now the IGG. Beatrice Anyanwu was in Ruzira, Christopher Chibazanga, and many others. In politics, it's unavoidable that people you are fighting with today, tomorrow, you will be in the same government. It doesn't mean that the disagreements don't exist, but you will continue living in the same country. We have had discussions because, by the way, I remember when we were launching PFF, when the ANT leaders arrived, I had trouble controlling them as guests because they are home. They are home. I actually asked Honorable Ali Salaso that please, you are a guest, can I sit you? Even in a home where there is a wife and a husband, some homes people disagree. Two people. It doesn't mean that when they are angry and they have disagreed, they don't have many other things in common that will bring them or will unite them tomorrow. We disagreed with General, I was the chairman for General Muntu campaign. The disagreement was mainly on the approach.
Yes.
There are people within our party that made accusations, and those accusations are normal. When 𝐍𝐄𝐗𝐓 went to court after the 2006 elections, I think, one of the complaints he filed with the Supreme Court was that Museveni was abusing him. Very abusive. He said he was accusing me of this and this. And Justice Katulebe and others, I think, maybe including Kanyehamba, he said it is normal to be abused in an election. When you are abused, you will naturally get angry. But they said it is normal. The moment you take that out of a campaign, I understood the campaign because FDC campaigns, especially between General Muntu was still there, between 𝐍𝐶𝐺 and others, they were genuine campaigns. Not this stage managed like you've seen recently. They were genuine. We were going for each other. Sometimes we will overdo it. My own colleagues within the FDC were rebelling. I said, you also Munyarwanda. I knew they knew that I was not. But even if I were Munyarwanda, what is the problem with being Munyarwanda? But the levels of insults is what angered some of the people. For General Muntu in particular, his disagreement was on what do you concentrate on more. He still harbors the same belief.
That's true.
That you'd rather concentrate on building a political party, structures than protests. Dr. 𝐍𝐶𝐗 believes that you need to rally the country within and beyond your parties, pour on the street and remove government like it has happened in Sudan, in Egypt, in Libya and others. That is his belief. And there are people who believe in each of these leaders. So we have had a discussion. Those beliefs haven't faded, but we still think for two reasons. First of all, for this election, which will come and go, but also for the future of the country. Whichever approach wins, we still need to work with each other. So really, for me, I don't see anything big. I continue interacting with the...
We've spoken to some of the NT people, and I remember very vividly. I don't think it's just insults. Some are cutting so deep. We're cutting so deep. And it's an operation, a method by a major the opposition figures, that when you fail out to them, they brand you a mole. Mugisha Muntu was called a mole. And they said time will tell.
And I agree, but they didn't call him a mole because many believed in it. But they must find a point of weakness to pull you down. And in Uganda, there has been a debate of who is authentic opposition and who is not. So when you are rebel, not authentic, it is not because people believe in it, but they know it is the quickest way to sell your name before the electorate. People have tried it on me many times. They have tried it on others. I was meeting the Honorable Amanya Mshega recently, and I hope this will not offend him. And at one time he was also being labeled as a mole. And people came to that quick conclusion because he continued interacting with his old friends. So one time and recently he asked me, do you think you are my friend? Do you think when I change a political party I should also change friends? See, the people like Otafire. I met Otafire in 1970 something. The very first time I met both of them with Museveni in Nairobi. I later met Museveni with Amama Mbabazi, the Nasasira and others. I was the best man for Jim Muhwezi. So he said, please, learn to respect relationship people have built. Even when we disagree, we remain. Today, if someone found me with an NRM person, even if we are friends, the first thing is to doubt, is SEMJU still opposition? I met him with so and so.
That's a culture you've built.
I have not participated in building that culture because there are people in NRM who are close to me, they are friends, closer than those who are in PFF. And I know how I deal with that relationship. Others are running, others use it not because, as I said, they believe that actually by having friends in NRM, it means now you are NRM or you are a mole. But they do so the same way they will label you a Munyarwanda, the same way they will label you a traitor, and so on and so forth. And for me, it is normal. I keep telling people in the Chira that even if someone went around saying the same Jew in the evening, he becomes a woman, it is my duty to say that I am not. Don't you see me? I am a man. So I don't pick quarrels over smaller things because I know the intensity of the campaign will make people say things that they themselves know are not true.
These alliances that you're trying to make, MOUs with ANT, which other political party are you approaching on this, and how are they receiving this? Number two, in the previous the election cycles, we've had this sort of alliances, MOUs, and they have collapsed at D-Day.
We have so far written to the NUP.
Have you received a response?
I need to check, but I know we have written to them. We think it benefits all of us and the country to work together. We have had meetings to identify others, but there are also others that have approached us. We had trouble because in our initial meetings we said we should not import conflicts of parties into the cooperation because we may spend most of the time resolving. In fact, General Muntu was saying you'd rather concentrate on appealing to those warring parties to first sort themselves out before you seek to work with them. Otherwise, if they come with their holding swords, you may spend the next 2-3 months of elections sucked into internal fights. That's why we had trouble with UPC, we had trouble with DP. We had wanted to work because not everybody in DP works with the state, so not everybody in UPC works with the state. But we said because they are at war, they are in court, they are removing each other, we would rather approach them, persuading them to at least put aside the conflicts during this electoral season. So this is a cooperation in progress, and I hope it will progress. But as I say, the trouble that we have is that many of the people running political parties, like ourselves, are also candidates. If you are going to invite a political party to join you and it has a candidate stronger than you, you will say, no, we don't work with them because immediately you get disadvantage. But also, as I said, we are also speaking to civil society because you may not benefit by civil society offering a candidate, but they may benefit you by training. We are in discussions with some academics, not because we are inviting them to be candidates, but we are trying to tap into their knowledge. So there are many people we are speaking to, because ultimately, as I said, and I want to repeat, all of us collectively will become weaker the moment you're going to a campaign where you'll be fighting with the military, with the police, with the Bank of Uganda. None of us is stronger enough to confront the military and the police. Museveni now has added a ghetto, who are robbing people on Kampala streets. So you are beaten by ghetto, you are fired, police is firing tear gas at you, you are being picked by the military in drones. Even us collectively, it is still a big task. But at least when we consolidate our energies and efforts and finances, we will have a bigger chance than when we approach these elections individually. So we are speaking to many. Hopefully, they will see things the way we see them.
Well, great insight from Honorable 𝐶𝐄𝐗𝐓, and we will take a break, and when we return, we shall further this discussion on who are these players that are actually they are seeking out to, and what are the chances that even in the places like Kampala Metropolitan, where this opposition are concentrating, they will reach an amiable position on who to front and who not to front. My name is
Bored of watching the same stuff on TV? Say no more. AfroMobile is now on smart TVs, bringing you the hottest Ugandan and African content, bigger, better, and right on your screen. Live TV? Check. Classic Ugandan series? Absolutely. The latest music shows and rewindable live events? You got it. No interruptions, no limits, just non-stop entertainment all in one application. Now streaming on Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and more. AfroMobile is your ultimate home entertainment sidekick. Getting started is a breeze. Just head to the App Store on your smart TV, search AfroMobile, download, and start watching. AfroMobile, authentic African stories.
So brands are getting smart. They're not just dropping ads anymore. They're hosting live conversations on X.
Why?
Because people want to talk, not be sold to.
They're using Express by Next.
Yes, and NextCom makes it easy. They help you plan, promote, host, and track the impact with vibes. It's like go live, talk real stuff, and connect with actual humans. Express, it's not a campaign, it's a conversation.
Are you ready to experience the ultimate in live events?
Can you sit? Can you sit?
From local to global, we bring you the most exciting events 24/7. Stay informed with live breaking news.
Habemus Papam.
Keep in the know of what's happening around you and beyond. NBS Live and filtered and missable. Exclusively on Afro Mobile.
Professor, reflecting on your time in the highest office, many people viewed you as a potential successor.
Potential successor to Yoweri Kaguta Museveni are not so many.
What was some of the political dilemma that you faced at the time?
The very difficult dilemmas is these mafia groups. They can actually break you so that you can never see the fountain of honor of this country.
Does it mean that the current leadership, without the president, the party does not exist?
It would be very difficult.
It's a pleasure that you're still with us here on The Morning Breeze and this segment of the topical discussion. My name is Dalton Kawesa, and with me in studio is Honorable Semju Nganda. He has what I can say that everyone knows Semju for one thing, the blunt criticisms of the government, but also being very vocal when it comes also to the checks to his own side, that is the opposition. At the time we went over a break, Honorable Semju was speaking about the coalition that they're trying to make and reaching out to different political parties such that they make a formidable force against the ruling party. The ruling party also seems to be in disarray, and this could be the chance because there are many petitions as we speak at the NRMs resulting from their primaries. Only some of you went to a break. You're talking about how you're reaching out, you've written to different people, and you're looking forward to working with the different stakeholders. Question is, I've spoken personally to members of FDC, and they claim, and before that, a few minutes ago, you stated that in politics, it is normal to disagree on approaches, but you cannot hold on to it. One thing that is common denominator is that you need to work with everyone in the opposition. And hence, FDC surfaces, they want to work with you. Are you people willing to take them in?
As I said, first of all, the work we do is not our work. We do this work on behalf of the public. Or at least we claim that you are doing this work on behalf of the public. There are reasons for which we disagreed with the people who remain at Najanankombe. maybe to remind you, the intention was never to break up. There were discussions for 2 years to have those matters resolved. It is because of their behavior that this split happened. If they had accepted proposals, internal proposals, you would never even have known that there were problems in FDC, because in every house you'll have problems. They only become public depending on how you're processing them. I told you, and I was on this show, and I told you they wanted even to box people in meetings. So if their hearts have changed, if their behavior have changed, the reasons for the split, they are now willing to have them resolved. Why not? People are not permanently.
It looks for you guys are not ready to change.
Permanently,
you're not ready to compromise on your side. Why are you speaking only for them to change? Of course, there are sharp points. You also had your standpoint as a party, as a group before you became a party, and also they had their standpoint.
That's why I said that those matters can be resolved if genuinely they return.
Have you reached out to them?
But I have told you we had a discussion for 2 years. So reaching out,
but you still told us that people change and things change in politics. Have you tried to reach out to them?
Maybe there are others who will speak to them. I am not one of them. When we started
your capacity as the office, an officer in
when we
PFF.
started speaking to ANT, I am not the one who approached ANT, but we have colleagues. The advantage that the PFF has over other parties, we have a committee of eminent persons who are not contesting for any position in Uganda. We have left them, the Ambassador 𝐒𝐄𝐗𝐓, the Honorable Wafula Ogutu, the 𝐍𝐄𝐗𝐓 Kandonda, Dr. 𝐍𝐄𝐗𝐄𝐓 himself, although he's still in prison, will, by the way, coming back to court on 6 this week for his bail application. Mzee Chapa Karahanga, Mzee Mukira and others. So we have elders who, because they go into these meetings with no prejudice, are the ones helping us to reach out to others. Because when Semuju wants to be an MP, approaches another party, they will say he's now fearing, so he wants a candidate to be removed for him. They will not say the same things with Wafula, with the Birigwa, with Wakandon and others. Maybe they will be the ones to contact others on our behalf. But I agree with you, even when you win over power, you will work with the same people in the country.
As a member of the committee that is in PFF, I have it on good knowledge that when a delegation was sent and approached ANT, and later on they went and met 𝐒𝐿𝐶𝐄𝐋𝐿 Besigye in prison in Luzira, the team of delegates from ANT, is this a conversation that you've had as inner workings that is also touching FDC?
I am not aware of any meeting with FDC. I am not aware of any approach as of now. And I'm not going to say it cannot happen. Because there are many meetings that are taking place. There are many discussions with the different people involved. People who have been at the center of quarreling are not part of these many meetings. But there are also people who are not prejudiced, who have not boxed each other. So it is also possible that there are engagements that I'm not aware of. I will tell you, when the ANT started, I was not aware until I was invited that please be part of a meeting. So I am only speaking about what I know, and I cannot claim that I know everything.
Some critics, Honorable Semjo, have said that this quest for you to have MOUs is hinged on the fact that you come from a point of weakness, given that the fact that NUP has is firm especially in the areas of Uganda and urban areas. I would like to pick your comment.
Uganda is bigger than Uganda. We have, I think, 353 constituencies, 146 women seats, totaling to about 490. You can live with the army. There are also special interest groups where all of us, because the special interest groups, the youth, workers, people with disability, now you have the elderly and something else. those are 25 parliamentary seats in which none of us is competing. The NRM has taken them. As I said, you go to Karamoja, where you have 26 MPs. I am not sure any of us is fielding candidates, or even if we are fielding, where our candidates are competitive. You go to areas like 𝐒𝐄𝐗𝐄𝐓, you come to Toro, we are present in Bunyoro. So I don't want anyone to limit our discussions on the number of seats that the NUP has in Uganda. In the whole of Busoga, either 46 MPs. In the last election, the FDC had 2, and NUP had 1 out of 46. Does it make sense to go to Busoga and we compete against each other and we all lose? Does it make sense to anyone? Because we have a very strong presence in Busoga. NUP is also present there. In Jinja, where the Honorable Mwiru has been winning and is cheated in most of the elections, the elections are very close. He sometimes gets 4,000 and NRM gets 4,100 after cheating. All you need to disadvantage the Honorable Mwiru there is to have another candidate who can take, even if it is 300 votes.
And Mwiru has crossed to NUP.
It does not matter where he has gone. I was the chairman for his campaign. He went to...
Maybe he has realized that you don't actually have a base there, as you say. He would have stayed.
In the last elections, he was in ANT. In Jinja, we got 2 MPs when we were FDC. Sometimes we all make calculations. It doesn't mean that the calculations they have made are the right calculations. The voters may have sentiments, they may have attachments, because I have gone to Busoga myself. I have met initially people who were FDC who are now PFF in Jinja. We are in Bujiri. So all of us, and I want to implore our colleagues who are in other parties, that it serves, if we are all genuine, it serves our individual and collective good to work together. It does. And for me, I will make the appeal. Even if it makes me look small, it makes me look like someone who is on his knees pleading with others. I will do so in the best interest.
In the break, we had a chat about the Kenyan example on their politics and how the parties are formed during the break. We had that chat. And I can tell you, when we give it to Ugandan Council, NRM would tell you that its farm base is in West. We would see it. UPC would say its farm base is in Lango. NUP now, it's in Buganda. We can say it has a number of MPs. Where is the farm base of PFF?
We have 9 MPs now. We are a new party, but we have 9 MPs, 2 from Buganda, 1 from Wankole, 2 from Chigezi.
But you're in a different vehicles when you're in parliament, so you can't use that.
It does not matter. The vehicles sometimes don't matter. Parties in Uganda are built around the leadership. They are not necessarily built around, I am not sure if Kyagulanyi is not a candidate that you'll have the same number of MPs that NUP has in Uganda. So parties in Uganda are still built around leaders. So where you have leaders, you will be stronger. If you come to the constituency where I am now, PFF has a stronger presence than in neighboring constituencies because the sitting MP is from their party. So even the FDC itself, we never wanted to be a regional, sub-regional party. We set out to build a national party. In the PFF, we are doing the same. We don't want to be a regional, a sub-regional tribal party. We want to be a national party. That's why I told you we are in Mbarara to launch an office where in MPs for the 13 districts of Ankole. We'll be going to Unyoro, going to Acholi. Our aspiration remain that we want to build a national party. So we are not trying to carve out an area and say this one is a no-go area for others. For us, we want to be present everywhere in Uganda, and we set out to do that.
Yes. You have commented about the military campaign and money campaigns, and I want to now you look at the ruling party that just had its primaries, where we saw a lot of money that was deployed. What doesn't it worry you as a seasoned legislator on the 12th parliament that will be coming?
One time we were with Mr. Museveni on a talk show, and I told him we are going to spoil and destroy Uganda's politics by making it highly commercial. You've seen jokes in the social media that politics in Uganda is more profitable than business, which is the reason people are shooting at each other. People are killing each other. You can deal with it. I think the simplest way is to reduce the salaries, but the opportunities people access when they become politicians are bigger than the salaries. Because if you go to Western Uganda, where people are spending over $1 billion, I have kept saying on this platform, you had a minister who went to a church and donated 300 million shilling. The same minister went to another church and donated 80 million shilling. So the amount of money people are deploying, especially in the West, is less than the amount of money an MP will earn in 5 years. So for them, the opportunity is not to come and access a salary in Parliament, but to access other opportunities. So Parliament becomes just a platform. It worries me, and that's why I said I was raising this matter with Museveni when we were on a radio station. Because even Museveni himself, and you know Museveni is he wants to sound clever. On that show he said, my son, I am the only one who has been fighting commercialization. Yet he's the chief promoter of money in elections, opportunities in elections. When he came to Chira, he said things are not good here because the MP is not NRM. But even the amount of money, as he was moving in my constituency, he meets youth who are washing vehicles, 30 million. He get to have this 30 million. For me, I am poor, 12 million. And one time in the last parliament, we had a fuel oil fund in parliament. And I think each MP was being given either, depending on where you come from 50 to 100 and more million, because we are paid mileage according to the price of fuel. It had gone up and calculations were made. So Museveni goes into cabinet and he sounds upset that you MPs are giving yourself. And Moses Sali told him, but for you have access to money. You are giving money everywhere. Where do you think you get money from? He said, okay. I have a feeling and strong conviction that if Museveni or any other leader in the future chooses to stop commercialization and money in politics, it will stop. But it's very difficult to stop when it is being promoted at the top. It is Museveni who connives with us in the parliament to increase the privileges of MPs and other leaders. Because if you make money unavailable to MPs and they sell their houses and lose elections, they will be less motivated to spend the same amount of money in subsequent elections. Because first, there isn't a big salary that will cushion you. You may not have property to sell, but the temptation is always there, and Museveni has made it one of the ground that for you, before you contest for election, you must have money. And the money that he has, apart from the money he has budgeted for, he has access. So here, it should worry every Ugandan. And that's why you've ended up with the sort of leaders that we have. Because there are people who come to parliament merely because they have money. And when they reach, the other day I was telling someone, we are 529 MPs, but we don't have a quorum to make decisions, 150 MPs. Other people, after swearing in, they disappear because they were never interested in parliament, registration, and the business of parliament.
Maybe they are in the constituency. The pressure is there to make things. You've taken up roles that are not yours as MPs.
I'm not sure that they are in the constituency. They are hiding and looking for deals in town. They are not in their constituencies. Because if I tell the people of Chira that please choose me and I go to parliament to represent you, I want them to see me in parliament representing them. In fact, for me, I said, but you elected me to be an MP. I'm not going to be around the border stages saying hello to everybody. My work is in Parliament. So if there is Parliament sitting, I will not come and attend a funeral. There are others who think they will do politics by attending every funeral, including of infants. For me, if Parliament is sitting, that is my priority. And I want to be remembered as an MP who did his work, not as an NGO or a donor in the constituency. I want to be remembered by the work that I have done in Parliament. But I am sure even those who pretend that they are in the constituencies, they are not there, because no MP has the amount that will require to transform a constituency, except if you are if you are corrupt, that you, as an MP, you have capacity to go and deal with the social services in your constituency. Nobody has capacity to do that, that you will build schools, roads, health centers. No MP has that capacity. But because they are never interested in Parliament, they are not in the constituency, they are also not in Parliament. They're just hiding in town.
All right, you hinted on something as we're getting out of this place, that the people that are running political parties are the same people that are actually contesting. And this has, across political parties, whichever method, especially in the opposition, has posed a challenge, the moral challenge and the contradiction. I want to pick your view on that.
It is problematic in many areas. First, it makes our engagement for cooperation and coalition very difficult, because everybody naturally seeks to advantage himself going into these discussions. You remember how TDA collapsed?
Yes.
It was mainly because you had the Mbabas who wanted to be a candidate and us who wanted the VSJ to be a candidate. And it collapsed not on policy, not on the direction when you take power, but on who becomes a candidate. So the stumbling block to coalitions in Uganda, the reason it works in Kenya is that Kenya has largely tribal parties that are stronger in particular areas. So even when you work together, Raila Odinga is not going to be affected in his area, or Kalonzo Musyoka, or any other player, because those enclaves are controlled by those particular parties. In Uganda, the point you are asking me earlier, where is your base? We are present and exist almost everywhere. So when you come to work together, there are people who are going to be advantaged, either by one party bringing candidates that are stronger than those of another party. So that's one layer that it becomes, it makes our working together very difficult. But also significantly, I have been at FDC in many elections, because the party is run by candidates. The day nominations take place, presidential and parliamentary, you almost have nobody running the party. I have seen Museveni now has made a decree that if you are a member of the secretariat and you go and participate in elections, no job. If you lose, you don't come back. That's why you've not seen many people resigning at NRM secretariat to go and participate. So very difficult to run a party, because Semuju is a chief of staff or secretary general of PFF. The moment he nominates and he begins campaigning in Ichira, you will not have him at Katonga to run the party. And that's why for us we have a committee of eminent persons, but we also intend to have a campaign bureau. We have always had the bureaus at the FDC, but they are not as strong as people who are running the party, because sometimes you go to retrieve a secretary general from a campaign somewhere to come and sign a check, to come and approve you. It becomes very difficult even to hold it. So parties are going to go on some sort of holidays when a campaign is beginning. These are 4 months. You cannot get a party to sit. Even NRM that runs the state, big as they are, all the structures, all the committees of the parties are committees that are run by politicians, all of them participating in elections. So political parties in Uganda have issues. I was in Ghana and I've said this many times. The Secretary General of the opposition party now resigned from Parliament to go and become a Secretary General. For us, Semuju is a Secretary General, wants to contest,
be in Parliament.
Wants to be in Parliament. Others are resigning as Secretary Generals to go and become MPs. In Ghana, they are resigning from Parliament to go and run parties.
Yes.
So the management, the daily management of the party becomes very difficult. The working together becomes very difficult. Maybe we'll overcome that when parties begin to raise substantial monies to pay people. I was in Tanzania for Chadema. At that time, Chadema was also weaker with 2 leading politicians. But they had agreed that for you, when you contest for parliament, me, I'm not contesting, I will remain to run in the party. That's the sacrifice they are making. Of course, now they have become bigger with many other people. So parties in Uganda in particular, I haven't researched what happens in Kenya, because they are run by potential candidates in elections. They are weaker in management. The candidates themselves will try to rig their internal processes to become candidates. They will rig their internal processes to become leaders of the party to advantage themselves.
Semju is a candidate and is the one that's signing on the
exactly.
flag.
So because imagine someone now contesting against me.
Yes, President Museveni is on the ballot. It's clear on 2026. What should be the opposition response or tactic?
Museveni as a person wouldn't be a bigger issue. The bigger issue is that the military is going to be deployed, police is going to be deployed, and Bank of Uganda is going to be raided. Minus Mane Museveni is a weaker person. In all elections he participated in before he became a president, Museveni lost. That's why he went to Luwero to fight after losing Mbarara North election to Sam Kutesa. Let the NRM people know that Museveni is as vulnerable as any other human being in Uganda. The only difference is that now he controls the money, he controls the military, he controls police. He has now hired a Nkoni squad, he has hired a ghetto squad. So that I am not worried of Museveni being on the ballot. I am worried of deployment of the military, the money, the police, the ghetto, and the Chiboko. So, but because Museveni is the one who does the deployment, people will think that he's being on the ballot worries. It does not worry us. What worries us are the things that I have outlined. If you go into an election where Museveni is not going to order shooting at his opponents, dispersing our meetings, restricting, you wait. I am told this week Electoral Commission is going to be issuing guidelines. You will see these guidelines have been discussed, and I know for sure that they have been discussed internally, even in SEC, in NRM, but just handed over to Electoral Commission to announce, to domesticate them and make them look like they
have to be fair to Electoral Commission.
I am telling you, you wait, they are going to say no procession. That NRM has discussed. When you are going for nomination, go when you are this number. All this NRM has discussed, at least in the last 2 meetings.
They discussed the internal processes.
Not the internal processes. They are now discussing elections in Uganda. They have even done a program. Museveni will be in this constituency.
Is that cabinet or SEC? There is a distinction.
Not cabinet. They have discussed them internally as NRM. And wait, when Electoral Commission, I have told you some of what they have discussed. No procession, no this. You must go and meet people at a venue. And you will hear Electoral Commission announcing exactly the same.
Thank you very much, Honorable Uganda, for being here with us this morning and starting the week with us. Thank you for sparing time. He has laid it bare, all on the table. Now, it's upon you Ugandans to let you be on the move on what next. The president, candidate Museveni, is ready, whether want it on the 2026 elections. And Semju has highlighted what should be the major concern for political parties. Thank you very much for being part of this audience. My name is Dalton Kawesa. We meet tomorrow. And while we meet tomorrow, please stay here. We have much more about current affairs and entertainment. Stay here.
NBS Tonight, brought to you by
That could have been bad.
Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Intercontinental trade remains below 25% despite the different protocols such as the African Continental Free Trade Area that was signed in 2017. Are these protocols worthy the papers that they were signed on?
Respective domestication at the national level,
is still a challenge. Within ESC, we are standing at 15%, which is equally very low.
But the potential, as per our protocols with government, is $1 billion per year. When you look at our neighbors, there's a lot of potential for exports.
They think it's about what you wear, the car, the address. They think it's about what they can see. But you know, it's what they don't see that matters most. The early mornings, the silent no's, the risks only you could measure. They say power is loud, but yours, it hums. A low frequency, measured in instinct, in knowing. Because what you're building isn't just a life, it's a legacy. You didn't start with everything, but you built something that means everything. And now, with DFCU Bank, you access freely, grow confidently, live exceptionally. This is banking personalized for those who've carved their own way.
This week, Uganda, where entrepreneurs don't just create, they invent.
We invented the chain link and it is redefining the manufacturing sector.
Ugandans are shaping products that are making waves both on the local scene and across the globe.
Freshness of beer in the marketplace, we are really at the top.
But the real challenge is quality and quantity.
We produce a unique product.
Who is rising up to the occasion and who is setting the bar?
This is the strategy we have in order to have African medical solutions.
I dive deep into the world of innovation industry every Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Welcome to the Snack and Vibe.
Kapeke 19 Kapeke Temensingo
Request with Prince 𝐒𝐈𝐋𝐋 doing nothing but the most.
Request with the one and only Prince. 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐿𝐓 by Tracy Milan.
Play for me Believer by 𝐿𝐼𝐋𝐋.
Lonely by Justin Bieber.
You know when you see me.
28 by Ruth B. I dedicate it to my mother.
All my friends are hardly.
Stay tuned, Snack and Vibe. Request.
Make the trumpets blow.
You can now own an electric bike at a deposit of 100k only. It comes with a helmet, reflector jacket, driving permit, and third party. 𝐒𝐒𝐿𝐓 as you pay 66k weekly for 2 years. Enjoy no fuel and maintenance costs. Get 85 kilometers on full charge and swap from 100 plus charging stations across Uganda. Visit any of our Union offices countrywide to start your application process or call us. Union, the better way to move and grow.
Our city is drowning in a waste crisis. Floods, pollution, disease. The consequences are real. But there is a chance to turn the tide. The Uganda Environment Forum 2025, a powerful platform for change. Key stakeholders, urgent solutions, real impact. Be part of the solution. Partner with the Uganda Environment Forum 2025. For details, contact +256 200 330 222.
Kiwanjuli Chiza Productions Band ni Chiza Productions bana bola ne bana balenzi abakubira omuziki oyine bala oyine embaga pate wetaaga okusanyusibwamu noonya Chiza Productions Band yakawukadde omulangira Ndaus kuba 0772 009 oba 0703 023 okole booking biwagiddwa NBS TV, Sanyuka TV, Afro Mobile ne High End Agency.
Eliminate flying and crawling insects with ease using 𝐒𝐿𝐿 insecticide. Your People's Choice Award winner for 2024, trusted since 1988. 𝐒𝐿𝐿 guarantees rapid action against mosquitoes, flies, and cockroaches, including those that spread malaria. 𝐒𝐿𝐿 is a reliable and effective solution for homes, schools, hospitals, and all public spaces. Experience the perfect blend of power and refreshing fragrance. 𝐒𝐿𝐿 delivers unmatched effectiveness at unbeatable value. Choose 𝐒𝐿𝐿 today, trusted by families, proven by results. Available at your favorite stores. 𝐒𝐿𝐿 is distributed by Translink Uganda Limited.
Streaming non-stop with the all-new Afro Mobile Data Bundles, built for non-stop vibes to keep you locked into your favorite shows with no limits. Get 4 GB for just 1K a day, 10 GB for only 4K a week, or 30 GB at only 10K a month. And yes, that price covers both your data and your Afro Mobile subscription. You heard that right. No codes, no hassle. Just download and open your Afro Mobile app, subscribe, and you're good to go. Wherever you are, whatever you love, keep the vibe going all day, all night with Afro Mobile. Streaming non-stop. Powered by MTN.
Professor, reflecting on your time in the highest office, many people viewed you as a potential successor.
Potential successor to Yoweri Kaguta Museveni are not so many.
What was some of the political dilemma that you faced at the time?
The very difficult dilemmas is these mafia groups. They can actually break you so that you can never see the fountain of honor of this country.
Does it mean that the current leadership, without the president, the party does not exist?
It would be very difficult.
Are you planning an event? Think of 𝐒𝐿𝐿 Events for the best photography and videography of all kinds. We believe that every moment is worth capturing. Whether Kwanjula, weddings, kuhinjira, bringing out the culture and glamour. And of course, a professional team that has mastered the art of the game and progea with elegance. 𝐒𝐿𝐿 Events is located along Rubaga Road on Access Building opposite Hotel Sojavalo. 𝐒𝐿𝐿 Events, capturing your precious moments.
I'm Father Joseph Muchibi, the Director of Communications and Public Relations, Kampala Archdiocese. Dear people of God, may the mercies of God be with you always. On behalf of His Grace, 𝐒𝐿𝐿 𝐶𝐄𝐗𝐓, the Archbishop of Kampala, I convey warm and Christian greetings to the general public. Lubaga Cathedral, the seat of the esteemed Archdiocese, has made a centenary jubilee since her consecration in 1925. This is a sign of God's presence and mercy among His people. The centenary celebrations will take place on October 26, 2025, and will be guided by the theme, "The temple of God is sacred, and you are the temple." The Most Reverend 𝐿𝐿 𝐶𝐄𝐗𝐓 implores all people of God and goodwill to pray and generously contribute towards the preparation, faithful and successful celebrations of this sacred memorial event. For financial support, use Centenary Bank. Account number 31 00 11 71 79. In the name Lubaga Cathedral at 100 years. May God bless your generosity as you donate.
A very good morning unto you. My name is Victoria Sabia and welcome to the breakfast meeting this morning. I'm excited to have this particular conversation because, we're celebrating something. We're celebrating 100 years of Lubaga Cathedral. Whether you visited or even just passed by, Lubaga has become one of Uganda's most iconic landmarks. But behind the beautiful architecture lies a powerful story of faith, of sacrifice, and even community, if I should say. So what does this centenary mean for the church, and what's happening to restore and preserve this national treasure? And how can we together as a nation, not just Catholics, be part of it? How can we all be part of it? Now, joining me this very morning, we have Father Joseph Muchibi, who's the Director of Communication and PR at the Kampala Archdiocese. And we've got Nsubuga John Bill, who is an electrical engineer supporting the restoration project. Welcome to the show this morning, gentlemen.
Thank you so much,
yes,
Victoria.
Absolutely.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now let's get it off started this morning. Congratulations, 100 years is not a small feat, a beautiful celebration, a centenary celebration. Let's take it back a little bit, if we may. How did Lubaga Hill become the home of the Catholic Church in Uganda? Perhaps you could answer that for us, Father Joseph Muchibi.
Good morning, our valued viewers on NBS, Next Media. We thank God for the grace He has given us to be before you. And we have the pleasure to thank the management and the staff for according us the hospitality to be with our viewers on NBS. And you have asked a very beautiful question. Lubaga Cathedral was constructed from 1914 to 1925. Mm-hmm. And it was constructed in that very year, 1925. So we have a reason to celebrate. When you calculate right now from 1925 from 2025, these are 100 years. And this qualifies it to celebrate a centenary jubilee.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, and we thank God for the gift of spirituality, mm-hmm. the gift of faith in Uganda. And Victoria, I cannot divorce myself from saying that Lubaga Cathedral is the oldest cathedral in Uganda, and is the mother of all cathedrals in Uganda. So we have a reason to celebrate as Ugandans. It is a spiritual heritage, a religious heritage, a national heritage for Uganda.
Can you give us a little bit of the history from back then? Was it always a religious site before it was built, or what was the history there? What led to Lubaga Cathedral being built?
Okay, thank you so much for that beautiful question. Lubaga Cathedral had its history. In the first place, it was built at Narukolongo in the 1900s. Mm-hmm. Then it was transferred to Nabunya, at the same place, the place near Narukolongo. And at Narukolongo, that's where the first 13 Holy Uganda martyrs were baptized. Now, before that, the hill where the current cathedral is located was donated by Ssekabaka Mutesa I, after inviting the first Catholic missionaries in 1879. So the first missionaries, the White Fathers, saw it fitting that the cathedral be transferred from the first places, Narukolonga and Nabunya, and be located at the hill donated by Ssekabaka Mwanga. Ssekabaka Mutesa I, that was his original palace. And that's where he invited the missionaries, where he had the mandate to invite the missionaries. And he left that place after it was burnt into ashes. And his successor, the son, Ssekabaka Mwanga, donated it to the Catholic Church through the first Catholic missionaries. And these missionaries saw it fitting that the cathedral be constructed where the Kabaka's palace was located at first. So that's in brief how the cathedral came to be at the moment. And the construction started in 1914 to until and it was completed in 1925. And that very year, on 31st October 1925, it was consecrated. It is now 100 years as we speak now.
Absolutely. What a beautiful history.
So we have a reason to celebrate.
You do have a reason to celebrate.
Yes.
I think many people pass by the cathedral without realizing who's buried within as well. Who lies at the rest inside, and what does that say about the cathedral's role as well in church history?
Yes. When we talk of a cathedral, we mean the seat of a reigning bishop or an archbishop. So, and it is from the history of the church that bishops are buried within the cathedral. And as we speak now, the cathedral is composed of the former reigning bishops, right from Archbishop Stryker. We have Archbishop Joseph Kabana Nakabale. We have Archbishop Cyprian Kizitorangaa and other bishops. Archbishop Chiwanuka and the other bishops. So it is the history of the church that bishops are buried within the cathedral. So when you happen to visit the cathedral, you will observe carefully the graveyards of these beloved archbishops of Kampala.
Yes, again, such a beautiful, rich history of the church, and the building itself has its own history. And I think as an electrical engineer, Mr. John Bill, you already know the details that some of us might not know. What does this mean for you as well, technically, to celebrate the 100 years of the cathedral?
Yeah, thank you, Victoria. And I'm going to answer the question in a technical way.
Yes, please.
Having realized that our cathedral is now 100 years, those are many years for a building to stand on its own without renovation. Therefore, these major renovations we are trying to put up, the cathedral needs that kind of renovation. It has held a number of functions, it has held a number of people coming there to pray, and therefore we need people to still be safe when they come to the cathedral. So the major renovations that they are trying to do, and the facing of the new facing of the church or of the cathedral, as a technical person, I'm very sure we need to do something about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. But what was the first thing that you noticed and you're like, this needs to be improved, or this needs attention immediately?
Of course, what actually needs attention is the face of the church. For instance, the tarmac outside the area now, I'm talking about the area. The tarmac itself is getting spoiled. We need to put up a different tarmac. We need to put up another parking, and a modern parking for that matter, in a stalled-like kind of form, such that when the elected come to pray, they come at their convenience time. They come in big numbers, and we have a number of a lot of space for parking. And then it comes to the interior. We need to modify again the interiors. You may look at the public address system, you may look at the organs of, you may look at the lights inside there. Sometimes when you look at those lights, you may find that much as it is light outside, it feels like it's so dark inside. So we need to do some major renovations about that.
Absolutely. Now, but then in that case, well, while you're doing those renovations, how do you find that balance, I guess, with the modern technology and also safety and also preserving the cathedral's historical design? Because I don't think you want to completely modernize everything, unless that is the case. How do you keep that balance?
Thank you so much, Victoria. I'm very sure with our monument, that religious monument, it's not much about to do, especially in breaking or something of the kind. But when it comes to some technologies that have come up and are helpful, we can really do those modifications without even breaking. And when it comes now to the lights, we can modify. There are some beautiful lights like these ones that are here in the studio, that can give some amount of light, the good light that we need in the church. Then when it comes to the designs of the church inside, of course, like I told you, 100 years is quite a long time. We need to do some modification, not really breaking, but modifying the designs that were there.
Absolutely.
Yes, we just improve them.
Yeah. Father, perhaps you can share with us what the renovation will mean to you and those who attend a church as well, and those who serve at the church as well. What would that renovation actually mean, and what would it look like for you?
You remember in our childhood, whenever we expected a visitor or to have a major celebration, we used to make a clean up.
Yes.
Because we expect a visitor or we expect to have a beautiful celebration. And celebrating the spirituality of this country, celebrating the faith in our country deserves something special. We have to make a facelift, both from our souls and the monument, the heritage itself. That is the cathedral. So before we reach the D-Day, and that is 26th October 2025, a few days from now, we have to make a facelift of the cathedral. It ought to possess a worthy image of our celebration. As we celebrate the existence of faith as temples of God, humanity, we have also to reflect it in the cathedral.
Absolutely.
And at the cathedral, yes.
Let's talk about outside of the cathedral, besides Mass and the prayers. How has the church impacted the community around it and the people around it?
I thank the first Catholic missionaries in Uganda. Whenever they made a spiritual impact to the people, the bodily impact was also noticed. In the first place, when you carefully observe the heritage around the cathedral, we have many schools erected. For example, Our Lady of Africa, Senior Secondary School, Uganda Martyrs University, Lubaga Branch. We have the hospital, Lubaga Hospital. We have the social center. So the two facets must be in perfect balance, the spiritual and the bodily. So we are very proud of the first missionaries who accompanied the spirituality, the faith with the physical. I mean the structure, the structure developments. And we cannot ignore them.
Absolutely.
They deserve a mention.
Even those deserve to be celebrated in that
yes,
case.
Please.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Now let's talk about the celebrations themselves, the fundraising, the day that before we, for the uplifting that you're talking about and the facelift that you actually mentioned, what is planned? What are we looking forward to here? And how is this fundraising going to work? Yes, please.
A very beautiful question. all the stakeholders are concerned about the celebration of the centenary jubilee. And each and every person is impacted by this cathedral, the beginning of faith in Uganda. And if we are to celebrate, we deserve to in solidarity to celebrate with one another. And the missionaries are not with us now as I speak, and we have that independence to govern how to celebrate right now. That's why we are imploring each and every one of us to participate, first of all, in prayer as we prepare and organize the celebrations, and secondly, to generate financial resources in order to renovate this cathedral. As I said, a prayer to make a facelift of this cathedral. We are inviting each and everybody, each and every one of us, people of God and people of goodwill, to join us in this campaign of 2.4 billion shillings. Yes.
That's the total amount we're trying to raise.
Yes. And many people of God, many people of goodwill have contributed generously towards this renovation, and we are very grateful. For example, companies like Plascon, Steel and Tube, and many individuals have contributed towards the renovation of this cathedral. And we are still inviting people of goodwill to support in this campaign.
Absolutely.
As we renovate and make a new parking yard for the people of God.
Absolutely. Now, with the celebrations upcoming, Mr. Nsubuga, perhaps you could share why should people participate as well in prayers and in giving, and also being a part of something revolutionary such as renovating as well the cathedral itself? Why do you think people should participate? And also share from your technical point of view, again, why this is important.
Thank you, Victoria. That is also another good question. Viewers, like the clergy has just said, that we need to do something when we are trying to renovate our church. She has asked me about the technical part first. I want to assure you that a number of people come to that church, and I'm very sure even you who are looking at me have ever joined that church. Probably you may not even be a Catholic, but at least you come there when there is a friend of yours. You see, we do a lot of things in that cathedral. Prayer, like I said, but in different prayers, we do burial, we do other ceremonies like consecrations and so on and so forth. So a friend of you may invite you to that church, that mother church, like we have just talked about. It needs to be in a good condition. And secondly, leave alone being an engineer, but I'm also the deputy head of laity of the Catholic Church, again in Kampala here. So I want to invite my fellow leaders, the faithful and the well-wishers. Why do I talk about the well-wishers? I'm talking about the well-wishers because you may not be a Catholic ongoing, but you may find that that cathedral has helped one of your friends, one of your mothers, one of your fathers, and so on and so forth. Come and we donate and do the facelift of that church, and also do the major, much as I said it is not breaking, but we are doing the major renovations. The reason as to why we are doing this, we need to, 100 years may not look as 50 years back. We need to, it is going even to be noted in books that around 2025, we did major renovations. They first did the major renovations in 1979, when we are having the centenaries of the coming of the missionaries. So we are doing another what? Another major renovation. So we are asking you please to donate generously, whether you are from the Catholic Church or you are from, you never know when this church will help you. You never know when this building will help you. You never know when you need healing in this church, and then you'll be healed by
Absolutely.
God. Thank you.
Now, when will the timeline, when you're looking at the timeline of the renovations, what is the timeline so far? Will this be done before the celebrations, or this is going to be ongoing work for the next couple of years?
When you look at the time that is remaining, somebody may say that I don't think you have a lot of time, but yes, the renovations are going to be in bits, but the major bits are going to be done before 26 October 2025, before the celebrations.
Okay, so we do have a lot of work before then.
Yes, we do have a lot of work to do there because, like I've told you, there are many things that, especially in the interior, there are many things that need to be changed. So the earlier we do the donations, the earlier we get the money, the earlier we buy the materials, the earlier we shall work on this, even before 2025 of October.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mr. Nsubaga mentioned something so special when he says you never know when you're going to need the church. You know, it could be a burial, could be you getting married in somewhere, or something could be happening. They could need. You share with our viewers and also encourage them as well to give and to contribute towards the renovations.
Yes. As I stated it earlier clearly, that many people, many stakeholders have been impacted by the cathedral. Many people have received the sacrament of baptism from the cathedral. Many people have received holy marriages from the cathedral. Many priests have been ordained from the cathedral. Bishops have been consecrated in the cathedral, and many other beautiful projects, especially spiritual projects. And it is right and fitting that all of us join hands in generating the funds to make this facelift. And Victoria, do you know that quality work is usually done in a very short time?
Can believe that.
Yes. So we have a few days to the D-Day, and I encourage all of us. We thank the government of Uganda through His Excellency the President. It has contributed 300 million. Can you imagine? Yeah. 300 million, and the works are going on. And we are very grateful to Your Excellency the President for that generous contribution towards this project. So all of us, people of God and people of goodwill, you are cordially invited to participate in this spiritual and structure project. And right now, as I speak, every Wednesday, the Archbishop of Kampala, who sent you warm greetings and praise for you, encourages each and every one of us, both individual and individual and groups, to come and make a pilgrimage every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, the Archbishop welcomes those all persons of God, the people of God, and persons of goodwill. And in the process, as they come to reflect on their faith and spirituality, they come with a contribution. They come with a contribution to support the works of renovation, to support the works of faith through our Archbishop. And you know very well, the Archbishop is the visible sign indicating the invisible grace.
Absolutely.
Of God.
Now, after all the celebrations, if I may ask, how will you keep the cathedral active, relevant, and open for generations to come? What can we look forward to in the future, especially for the young people? Also, are there any youth-led activities that we can also expect?
Thank you so much. Faith is ongoing. We are not the first and the last. And therefore, we have to put all the necessary modalities on how to keep the cathedral intact for the future generations. It would be selfish if we celebrate 100 years and we leave it like that. So we have, first of all, to maintain our faith. Maintaining of faith is imperative. And after maintaining faith, you have to maintain the heritage, yes, for the future generations. Faith is succeeded. And if development is to take place, by the way, even from the physical arena, we have to have that maintenance attitude every now and then.
Absolutely.
And I am very confident that whatever is to be done during this period will be maintained for the future generations to witness.
In that case, how can people participate? How can people come and give? And for those who are also well-wishers but maybe are not at a financial place to give, what else can they also participate in, and how can they be a part of these celebrations?
Dear people of God, listening to me, viewing NBS, the Archbishop has put in place approaches of donation. And one of them, the Archbishop encourages people not to move with cash in the first place. You know how Uganda is operating now with some people, scrupulous and unscrupulous people. He created an account for these donations.
Yes.
This account is found in the Centenary Bank. It is 31 00 11 71 79 in the name Lubaga Cathedral at 100 years. So the message will be received if you donate. The message will, the donation will be acknowledged, and you will receive a message of thank you. Yes.
Well, thank you so much. And any final words for you, Engineer Nsubuga?
Yeah, I just wanted to add something.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to the lay faithful, because this is where my docket is. I want to encourage the lay faithful, especially the lay leaders, wherever you are. We have already had programs, we have already had meetings, we have already had how we are going to solicit for these donations, the funds. I'm only encouraging our leaders that please go out to the people, go out to the faithful and tell them the cause. This drive will be finished. And I bet that whenever we talk about finishing up something, especially when it comes to Lubaga, we shall finish always. Please endeavor to tell all the people to show cause. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much both for joining us this morning on the breakfast meeting. And of course, as you can see, these celebrations are quite important and the renovations are ongoing. This is not something that's yet to happen. It's already started. And this centenary rather isn't just about looking back. It's really about honoring legacy and also investing in the future and what lies ahead. Just as a father said that, you know, faith is ongoing and he's here, others will still come, and this work will definitely continue. So whether you've walked through Lubaga's doors or admired from the outside and from a distance, this is a moment to celebrate something bigger than yourselves. Well, you've heard from them how you can participate and how you can give towards the renovations of the cathedral. Well, for me, Victoria Sabia, I must love you and leave you. May the Lord bless you, keep you, make his face shine upon you, and be gracious to you. Goodbye. God bless.
I'm Father 𝐍𝐄𝐗𝐓, the Director of Communications and Public Relations, Kampala Archdiocese. Dear people of God, may the mercies of God be with you always. On behalf of His Grace, 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐄𝐓, the Archbishop of Kampala, I convey warm and Christian greetings to the general public. Lubaga Cathedral, the seat of the esteemed Archdiocese, has made a centenary jubilee since her consecration in 1925. This is a sign of God's presence and mercy among His people. The centenary celebrations will take place on October 26, 2025, and will be guided by the theme, "The temple of God is sacred, and you are the temple." The Most Reverend 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐿 implores all people of God and goodwill to pray and generously contribute towards the preparation, faithful and successful celebrations of this sacred memorial event. For financial support, use Centenary Bank, account number 31 00 11 71 79. In the name Lubaga Cathedral at 100 years. May God bless your generosity as you donate.
My name is Paul Jonathan Inwero. I'm the IT Business Development Manager for Future Technologies Limited. The entire project is about digital literacy, awareness, and trainings. So basically, we went to the communities to do different IT trainings to help the community understand the different trends of technology that is coming up and how best can they use it. 1, to develop themselves, 2, to improve on their businesses, 3, to be much of self-awareness of the different trends that are rising up at the moment. Participants usually get super excited about being engaged and how they receive it very welcomingly. So the biggest impact is them interacting with these different gadgets that we usually go with, the laptops, the tablets that we use.
As of 2023, 10,050 business owners and staff were trained in different SMEs concerns. The Digital Skilling for SMEs program is driving economic growth and innovation by empowering small and medium-sized businesses with the digital skills they need to thrive in a competitive market.
Alpha Music Entertainment presents Tipo live in concert on the 22nd of August 2025 at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Gates open at noon. Get ready for an unforgettable night of electrifying performances, incredible vibes, and non-stop entertainment, and a lineup of amazing guest artists. Entrance is only 20k ordinary, VIP is 50k, a golden table goes for 1 million, and a platinum table goes for 2 million Ugandan shillings. This is all brought to you by NBS TV, Sanyuka TV, Afro Mobile, and NBS Music.
With Momo, you have the power to become an investor and start earning some money daily on your phone. Dial *165*7*1# and invest for as little as 1k with Momo Investor. And the best thing is, you can withdraw your money instantly anytime. That's Momo. That's the power to be more.
Tomorrow night, brought to you by.
Whether your team app, WhatsApp, or website, KFC Delivery has got you. Order now directly and let the flavor come to you hot, fast, and easy. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Uganda, where entrepreneurs don't just create, they invent.
We invented the chain link and it is redefining the manufacturing sector.
Ugandans are shaping products that are making waves both on the local scene and across the globe.
Freshness of beer in the marketplace, we are really at the top.
But the real challenge is quality and quantity.
We produce a unique product.
Who is rising up to the occasion and who is setting the bar?
This is the strategy we have in order to have African medical solutions.
I dive deep into the world of innovation industry every Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Live in concert. In the
Champions Ball happening at Kampala Serena Hotel for 150k VIP, table for 8 at 3 million.
For the ticket to the Momo Bet, stable Kagatelo Stop Zero Hash, Omokusa Momo Apple, Ticketing.com.
Come, let's enjoy the giant of creative rap flow right from way back. It's happening and going down 30th August. Mark your calendar. Sponsored by Phenon, NBS Music, Afro Mobile, Senyuka TV, Kampala Serena Hotel.
Tired of the same old TV? Tap into endless action, heart-throbbing romance, and mysteries that keep you guessing. Afroflix, 24 hours of cinema magic. Chino chibanda che nyini only on Afro Mobile.
Mtero bagamba timufubanga nnyo okubeera awali abantu abakulu. Olumu mugana abaana nti atobeera awali bantu bakulu.
Pastor Wilson Bugembe at 20 in Tuganda Kusaraya. Do you remember this? How about this? And this one? Join Pastor Will B as he celebrates 20 years of great ministry, worship, praise, and holy entertainment. On the 8th of August at Kampala Serena Hotel. Interest is 150k and the table of 8 goes for 3 million. Alibaba tickets available at 120k on Momo Pay. Dial star 165 star 20 hash. You can also find them at Worship House Nansana, Papa Sport Machinde, and Serena Hotel. For booking, call 0760 333 132. Sponsored by Victoria University, Phenon Records, Next Media, Pepsi, QC Restaurant, Massey Christian School, Success Motors, and MTN.
2026 is calling and your voters are watching, listening, scrolling and streaming. Ready to lead? Then it's time to be seen, heard and remembered. Next Media is your campaign partner. From TV to radio, digital to mobile, even influencer power. We get your message everywhere. Whether you're running for MP or local council, it's your time, your voice, your victory. Book your space now with us on 0761 001 890.
Standing Back and Talent Africa present the Legends of Sound, Afrigo at 50 concert. On August 16th, history will be made at the Millennium Grounds Lugogo as the iconic Afrigo band celebrates 50 legendary years of music, culture, and unforgettable memories. They have shaped Uganda's sound, and now they return with a golden jubilee performance like no other. And joining them on stage, the one and only Kofi Olomide. Grab your Alibaba tickets now on Stanbic FlexiPay. Bronze 50k, silver 100k, gold tables 3 million, diamond tables 5 million, platinum tables 10 million for the ultimate VIP experience. The Legends of Sound, Afrigo at 50 concert. Presented by Stanbic Bank and Talent Africa Group. Powered by Sheraton Hotel, NBS TV, Capsifao, Surfboarder, and Pepsi. Be part of history. Celebrate greatness. Always.
He is a son to the founding Prime Minister of Uganda, heir to the most controversial post-independence legacies. Jimmy Akena is not just a son to Dr. Milton Obote. He is a leader now in the middle of controversy that included a court case. We ask, is he reviving the party or presiding over its slow death? Welcome to the show, Honorable Jim Akena.
Thank you very much for having me.
We should. And the question is, court ruled that you are not supposed to be the president of the party. Why did you go ahead to preside over a delegates conference court had deemed illegal?
That is a total misrepresentation. The Bernard Namanya ruling confirmed my presidency, that I was president and that he put it that I had been president for 2 terms. So as such, it would have meant that my term was ending on the 1st of August. Now, in the 3 weeks which were remaining when that ruling came out, the most important thing for me to do was to take the matter to the delegates, because this is an organization, and organizations normally operate through their supreme organs. Their supreme organs, like it would be a general assembly, but in the case of a political party, it's a delegates conference. So what I did was to call a delegates conference, and that was within my authority and within the power enshrined in the Constitution, to call the supreme organ of the Uganda People's Congress and present to them exactly what had taken place. But it's not just as presenting, that people were following. Because throughout this process, we have had members hoping or aspiring for different positions. We are preparing for our primaries. So it was maybe a little bit out of the blue that such a ruling can come, but it reinforced certain realities. And as such, we went ahead and had our delegates conference. And we're now progressing towards the 2026 general elections.
So how do you reconcile the fact that during the reign of your mother, Miria Obote,
yes,
there was a constitutional amendment that you also supported? It is the constitutional amendment, again, you are contravening, and you have not actually respected the Constitution.
No, the constitutional amendment or the constitutional issue which is at hand, it is the 2-term limit.
Yes.
UPC has a provision where you can get a 3rd term when you're in government. That was within the Constitution. Now, the truth of the matter or the reality of today is that in 2005, that was removed from the national Constitution. So it was removed to create opportunity for the president to go back for re-election, and then, of course, the age limit was removed, and in the next cycle, in the 2016 cycle. So this is something which, in presidential democracies across the world, most presidential democracies have a 2-term limit. And the reason they have a 2-term limit is that under presidential system, most offices are appointed by the president. In the US, which is where we most likely get most of our, where we'll get the news on the question of appointments, it really touches on the Supreme Court. In the US, each party is trying to appoint the next Supreme Court judge because the tenure on that bench is basically for life. Unlike in Uganda, it's according to age. So, because this comes from the fact that justices have political biases. And you'll find a Republican president trying to appoint a justice which has leanings towards Republican point of view. And a Democratic president will try to appoint a justice which has those leanings. And where you have a balance, that's how the system works. But we've had a system in Uganda where we've had one president for 40 years. And there's no judicial officer today who is not being appointed by this same president. So it's a completely different scenario. And this is a question like a law which has been in place. I think another example I can give is in UK, there used to be a law that a taxi operator must have horse food. And that law was because initially the taxis were horse-driven. But the engine came in, but the law remained. Now, a policeman, long after the horses were not pulling the taxis around, a policeman could still arrest you for not having the bale of hay or the horse food in your taxi. So this, in this particular case of Uganda, this law is not, I would say, not applicable. In the national law, in the Constitution, it's not applicable. 105 of the Constitution does not have a term limit. So insofar as that and the national Constitution is concerned, and where you find this inconsistency, it is the prevalence of the national Constitution, which is what I've sworn to. Ideally, it's not the best system in place, but this is the circumstances which we face.
Let's go back to the party constitution.
Yes.
And how, so are you saying, because I have the ruling here, and I can read it to you, You are saying, on the other hand, that the ruling just reaffirmed your presidency.
It did.
Yet the Constitution talks about 2 terms. How many terms have you done, Honorable Akena?
I have done 2 terms, but now the same issue where you hear the detractors of Akena, they say Court of Appeal cancelled 1 term.
It's surprising to many. UPC, your father and UPC championed the rule of law. It is a contradiction that here you are being accused of total disregard for rule of law.
No, now, here we need to be very careful. Rule of law is normally with purpose. When we talk of the rule of law and we talk of human rights, there are clear human rights which need to be enshrined. Right of association, right to participate in the process, right to determine your future. Those are clear defined rights. Now, in this particular issue, there are many provisions in the UPC Constitution which we're not following. We're required to have meetings at a branch every month. Every member of UPC should be in a meeting if you're in a branch. We have not been able to have some of these meetings. Now, this issue of what is the purpose behind the law? The purpose which is now being raised here is to stop Akena from contesting against Museveni. Let's not hide behind these other issues. That is the purpose why it's being raised. I have mobilized the ground. I have shown that I have ability to move the ground. I have some support, which is clearly demonstrated, has been demonstrated before. So what we're dealing with is, what is the purpose? Now that comes to the issue. What is the purpose of UPC in politics? The purpose of UPC in politics is to improve people's livelihoods. It is to speak to the problems which the people of Uganda are facing and provide solutions. That's what we present in
your amendment.
That's what we present in general election.
Yes. Why did you take it? Because in your amendment, before a candidate would go through, you amended in the Constitution, and although even the process, the motivation was questioned, where you have the district, someone would go through the district delegates conference, then come to the national conference. Why is it that you, as you champion to be the flag bearer, as the president, you did not go through these processes to be reaffirmed?
No, we were in the process. We were in the process before this
thing came. Process? Or you are in the process?
We were in the process.
You are in the process?
We were in the process until things have been altered by this new reality. And now we have to deal with that reality. But that reality also touches on timetables, right? Ruling, I think, came on the 18th.
Yes.
18th of July. My term was due to end on the 1st of August. We had scheduled the district conferences on the 27th and 28th. In fact, 28th of July was the district conferences. Now you had all this coming in, and you have to respond in real time for what is taking place. Because at the same time, you must not lose sight of the timetable which has been provided by the Electoral Commission, which we all have to conform to in order to be able to participate in these general elections. So I have thousands of candidates relying on me to make sure that the UPC and themselves are able to participate in the 2026 general elections. So I must struggle for my candidates, and it's what I've been doing.
He says he's the rightful president of UPC, but the courts and the general public disagree. Let's return. When we do, we shall delve deeper into this subject.
Ready for the juiciest entertainment scoop? Now Scoop is your VIP pass to celeb gossip, breaking news, and exclusive interviews. Miss it? Not on our watch. Stay ahead of the buzz, soak in the drama, and scoop it all before anyone else. Click, scroll, scoop. Your next obsession starts now at nilescoop.com.
One by one makes a bando. United Media is your gateway to a countrywide radio station. With a coalition of more than 120 radio stations, 15 TV channels, 20 online publications, you can cover every region and community with convenience and no hassle. Guaranteed impact with consolidated communication and localized engagement. Whether it's an MDA, development partner, FMCG, or regular advertiser, United Media is a truly one-stop shop for your communication needs. United Media. Together, we will shape the future. Exciting news for news lovers. The Now Post, your reliable source of swift and accurate news, has introduced its all-new mobile-friendly experience. We have upgraded your mobile news experience, giving you a slick, user-friendly interface, making it easier than ever to stay informed. Embark on a new era of news exploration with Now Post, scrolling through with ease because it's seamless and lighter. Now Post, accurate news fast.
Fenge chibina chaffe ekya Njo Natete Youth Organization tukola urban farming nga tulimira mu bicupa amabaafu ebipiira okubanga tubikola reuse. Plastic pollution ono abantu bamanyi nkozesa ya machupa gano bwamala okugula amazzi ge asuula mu mwala bw'asuula mu mwala ebicupa bino ne bijjulamu bigenda biziba omwala ensonga lwaki tujja ne tulondamu amacupa ago ne tugalimiramu wano. Twetaaga okwongera okusomesa abantu bamanye uwa awatuufu alina okudisposinga plastic bottles, ebipiira, obuveera, ebidomola ebikaddiye, amabaafu oba tukole reuse nga fano ku maka gaffe aga Natete Youth Organization wetuli okulimira mu nnimiro n'okwongera okusomesa abantu enkozesa entuufu. Nze Munanura James okuva mu Natete Youth Organization nsaba bannayuganda tukwatire wamu tutaase obutonde.
Brought to you by NEMA, KCCA, Airco, Now Breweries, Centenary Bank, Prestige Margarine, Stanbic Bank, NBS, National Forest Authority.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best-selling female gospel artist of all time, live in Kampala, Uganda on 28th August 2025.
And I am so excited to worship with you all.
Ordinary tickets are 50,000 Uganda shilling, VIP 150,000 and VVIP 250,000 shilling. Please note, there will be no physical tickets. All tickets available exclusively at ccwinans.com. Brought to you by the usual suspects in partnership with Faith Collective, NBS TV, Afromobile, New Vision, and Power 104.1 FM.
NBS Tonight, brought to you by
That could have been bad.
Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Intercontinental trade remains below 25% despite the different protocols such as the African Continental Free Trade Area that was signed in 2017. Are these protocols worthy the papers that they were signed on?
Respective domestication at the national level is still a challenge.
Within ESC, we are standing at 15%, which is equally very low.
But the potential, as per our protocols with government, is $1 billion per year. When we look at our neighbors, there's a lot of potential for exports.
Uganda, for the first time ever, Craig David presents the Craig David TS5 live in Kampala. Catch Britain's King of R&B performing at the World of Sounds R&B edition, happening on the 29th of August at Sheraton Gardens. Tickets go for 200k silver, 5 million gold table sitting, and 10 million platinum sitting. Get your tickets now at www.cricket.co.ug. Craig David TS5 live in Kampala at the World of Sounds is brought to you by Gigman, Left Media, Noniv, ETS Events, and NBS.
I'm Father Joseph Muchibi, the Director of Communications and Public Relations, Kampala Archdiocese. Dear people of God, may the mercies of God be with you always. On behalf of His Grace, 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐗𝐓, the Archbishop of Kampala, I convey warm and Christian greetings to the general public. Lubaga Cathedral, the seat of the esteemed Archdiocese, has made a centenary jubilee since her consecration in 1925. This is a sign of God's presence and mercy among His people. The centenary celebrations will take place on October 26, 2025, and will be guided by the theme, "The Temple of God is Sacred, and You are the Temple." The Most Reverend 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐗𝐓 implores all people of God and goodwill to pray and generously contribute towards the preparation, faithful and successful celebrations of this sacred memorial event. For financial support, use Centenary Bank, account number 31 00 11 71 79. In the name Lubaga Cathedral at 100 years. May God bless your generosity as you donate.
It is the world's longest river, but its journey begins right here, in the heart of Uganda. The River Nile, majestic, powerful, and full of mystery. For centuries, explorers searched for its origin, but it was right here at the edge of Lake Victoria. The Nile takes its first breath, beginning an epic 6,650-kilometer journey to the Mediterranean Sea. From adrenaline-pumping whitewater rafting to the quiet rhythm of life along its banks, the Nile is Uganda's lifeline, fueling industries, nurturing wildlife, and sustaining millions. At Murchison Falls, the Nile puts on a show, squeezing through a 7-meter gap before plunging down in a thunderous roar, a true force of nature. But the Nile isn't just about power, it's about life. It shelters Africa's largest population of hippos, feeds countless bird species, and whispers ancient stories to those who listen. The River Nile is more than just water. It's a history, adventure, and the soul of Uganda.
What they were supposed to do.
In 1962, President Obote expunged some of the members that he saw were a bit belligerent in the party. Someone says you're being a true character of your father. How would you comment on that?
I'm proud to say I'm my father's son. I'm very proud to be my father's son because he was a politician who really worked for his people. And in all these issues, now when absent, completely absent. All that we're seeing of UPC, the resurgence of UPC, it has been done by painstaking effort. And who was behind that effort? It was myself. I was looking for opportunity, creating that avenue. These avenues don't just come. We created the opportunity, we created that avenue. So I expect pushback, but that pushback does not distract me from my mission.
Interesting parallels, Honorable Kena. In what has been looked as institutional capture, the president then went ahead to capture parliament by a pigeonhole constitution that he has been criticized for. That is Milton Obote. First, many years later, you have chased away enough, and the critics say you are rewriting the constitution in the same spirit that we saw in the history. Doesn't it dent the oldest party?
Now, first of all, I want to correct history. The 66 pigeonhole constitution came about because there was a crisis. If somebody was deliberately planning to usurp power, he would have come with a document well prepared on how to centralize that power. It was not there. After the 66 constitution, there was a 67 constitution which was debated. And that 67 constitution introduced the republic. I was born in the Republic of Uganda. It was 1960 trying to make him some sort of monster. You find Obote's heart and passion in the second 5-year development plan. That is where you find the 24 hospitals scattered all over the country. There's no part of Uganda where you don't find that hospital. And that's why UPC can say UPC everywhere. You look at the schools, the traditional schools, which were expanded in that period. That is the second 5-year development plan.
So whenever there is
a crisis... You look at the cooperatives. No, you look at the cooperatives. You'll see how the cooperatives were strengthened. The Uganda Commercial Bank, which people talk about, was established in that period. Housing Finance Bank in that period. DFCU came in 64, which was still under UPC, but it was in 64. All of these developments happened at that period. That's where you define. Now, where people try to define on a narrow issue which is trying to be put and not seeing the purpose for which the organization was there. Now, you will find obstacles along the way, but you must remain focused on your purpose.
So you agree there was a capture of institution like parliament with pigeonhole constitution?
No. You see, that's the misrepresentation of history. That is what people have used to misrepresent and try to portray Obote as somebody who was just there to grab power. If Obote wanted to grab power, how did he fail to make that 66 or 67 constitution a one-party constitution? How did he fail, if that was the intention? Because in 1980, we had elections under the 67 constitution, multi-party elections, no amendment. So it's what is being portrayed. Obote wanted to grab power. No, Obote wanted to free the people of Uganda by giving them the services which they required.
In the spirit of grabbing power, that's how you chased away enough, and you are insisting on being the president.
One, I'm not the one who chased enough. But if you have been following the tweets, not the tweets, the text messages, the claims, there's a tendency here in Uganda where a court case is determined, it says one thing. But then there's a certain group of people, most especially lawyers, who now come and give their own interpretation and try to bulldoze people into a completely different interpretation. It says the ruling declared, somebody declared him. It did not. It did not. Now, what do you do where you have all these candidates, all of this process going through, and somebody is, for lack of a better word, lying through his teeth on what the justices, one, looked at and determined. So mine is to protect the majority. I have a duty for the majority. And that I must do.
Your critics have said that because you're power hungry, since 2015 you have run this as a family affair and creating an Obote dynasty. Why can't you accept other players?
Obote dynasty?
Yes.
I was first elected to parliament after my father died. I've been a member of parliament since then, 2005. In 2010, I contested for the party presidency. I lost. I conceded. Before the delegates in Nambole, I conceded. And I promised the delegates, 5 years later, I'll be back. 5 years later, I came back. And I overwhelmingly defeated all those who I competed against. But there are those who were ready and determined to make sure that we must stop Akena. I am Obote's son. I cannot change that one. I'm proud to be Obote's son. But all of the politics I've done, it is through elections, through support of the membership. The delegates conference we called, 7 days notice. I write to police, police do not respond. I write to the Minister of Internal Affairs. I follow up with the Minister of Internal Affairs. He writes to the IGP. IGP the following day gives a very flimsy issue that they don't have manpower. Yet the venue where we're supposed to have this delegates conference is being policed by the same police who say they don't have manpower. And I made a joke that if I went ahead to hold that meeting, you will find 10 times or 50, 30 times the number of manpower required to police that meeting, deployed to stop it. So clearly somebody didn't want the meeting to take place.
You have just mentioned that you're proud of your father.
Very.
Your father's legacy is a complicated one. Which part of the legacy do you embrace And which part of legacy do you reject?
I don't reject my father. I've never rejected my father, and I won't.
The legacy?
The legacy, I think it is the most misunderstood legacy.
What has been misunderstood? And what has been understood?
What has been portrayed, and what you hear in many circles, Obote wanted to grab power, Obote wanted to centralize power. In a parliamentary democracy, power falls in the institutions, especially the institutions of parliament and within the powers of the ruling government. Examples I'll give you is South Africa. South Africa have changed presidents of ANC without going for election because that's the power of the party and that's the power of the system in place. That was the sort of system we had in the 60s and even in the 80s.
And it was misunderstood.
That is very different from a presidential system. In a presidential system, you find people trekking to State House. In a parliamentary system, people trek to Parliament. And Parliament, how does Parliament operate? Through committees, through the institutions, matters are discussed. It's not discussed on a one-on-one, or somebody decided, the president has decided this one. Matters are done through institutions. I would love to see institutions in Uganda, and institutions working for the people. Now, all the successes which Obote talks about, the things which Obote was proud of, were things which made a difference in people's lives. And that's what I'll strive for. What will make a difference in people's lives? A lot of this talk, whether you're being accused or a dictator or family issue, you mean a family is not allowed to compete? Is there a law that says Obote's family should not compete?
No.
Now, I have competed. I have won some, I've lost some. But my track record is clear for everyone to see. I have been there. When UPC needed somebody to campaign for UPC candidates, I was there. When UPC needed encouragement, I was there. When UPC needed support, I was there. There's no point where I have ever walked away from UPC in the time of need. So you accuse me of trying to whatever, but the ones who are accusing me, where are they? Please, let's be honest, where are they? I don't feel their contribution.
Do you think the country is ready for another Obote president?
Definitely. In fact, the country needs, because we have this issue of, there's a complete disconnect. When you look at the figures, they talk at the figures of GDP per capita has increased so much. Then you get a small section who say that they contribute 60% of the taxes, which is true. Now you remove their wealth, remove the whole government institutions, let's say the whole government salaries issue, now remain the population, which still remains roughly 45 million because you removed a small portion. Now divide that one. That it gives you a sort of reality of what people are going through. Go to the rural economy. In a lot of places, people are completely outside that economy.
Well, he carries the name, but does he carry the Obote vision? Jima Akena continues to preside over a party his father founded. Critics say that there is more that is lacking in the current state of the party. Stay here as we come back.
Baby mama! Black Legacy and Juba Express back to Sako! The return of the Queen, Shiba Karungi, Kampala Serena Hotel, Friday Avenue, August, and Mitwara Video Kuyingira, Alebad Kuminataro, and there's a million is sat, Oroku Sande Gabi Munyagusta, and the Ruero Mutisawe, Shinzo Mutuano Gumu. Oh! Booking a ticket from Gabuchalaba, Tokomero Kumusaraba, Gana Kumomo Pay, Hobanyiga, Kamunya Mumkagatano, Kamunya Bilizio Kadara, Hoba, Gana Kuserena Hotel, John Kala Solution, Hobakupa Passport, Hosigura Physicare, Hekwangali Madamu Chumubaro, let me sing a music in Gono, make way for the Queen, where Tagurembara, Katibi Mami, Musare, Kodabi John Rambo Yamwe, Biwagidwa Victoria University, Westlake Water, I&M Bank, right now up, Trisha Safari, Vernon Records, Le Juba Express, where is a saint, Munsezi Suke Chukumi, Bunambiro.
Better steady, be better.
7 out of 10 of us have lost a substantial amount of money to fraudsters. Money we could have used to pay rent, invest in small businesses, clear fees, or send to mama in the village. Better steady and protect what's yours by being vigilant with your virtual transactions. Keep your PIN to yourself and only take calls from registered customer care numbers in case of telecom issues. Better steady, be better.
partnership with Uganda Communications Commission and NBS.
Whatever sport you enjoy, Sport Action on NBS Sport has you covered. Whether you want to support the Uganda Cranes or our netball team, golf or athletics, both domestic sporting events in Uganda and international sporting events in which Ugandans compete are the subjects of our attention. What are you still holding out for? Catch all the excitement on Sport Action by tuning to NBS Sport, brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Ugandan sports.
Pastor Wilson Bugembe at 20 in Uganda Kusarana. Do you remember this? How about this? And this one? Join Pastor Will B as he celebrates 20 years of great ministry, worship, praise, and holy entertainment. On the 8th of August at Campus Arena Hotel. Interest is $150K under Table of 8 goes for $3 million. Alibaba tickets available at $120K on MomoPay. Dial *165*20#. You can also find them at Worship House Nasana, Papa Sport Machinde, and Serena Hotel. For booking, call 0760-333-132. Sponsored by Victoria University, Phenon Records, Next Media, Pepsi, QC Restaurant, Massey Christian School, Success Motors, and MTN.
NBS happening now.
A very good morning and thank you so much for watching NBS Television. We interrupt regular programming to bring you the latest as the Uganda Advertising Association unveils the Silverback Awards for the year 2025. This is happening at Next Media Park. Now let's head to the NCC for the latest.
So you saw the effort they put in terms of, like, this is where a case study is just showing a design example. Now, they put all that effort, and this was the final result. Oops, sorry. This is the final result. Apologies. Was playing that again, but this was the final. They put all of that effort that you saw just for this 20 seconds. I hope the sound design came through in the room as well. So if you look at the case study film, it was 2 minutes, and the kind of obsessive attention to detail, to craft, to be able to do stuff is something that the consumer absolutely notices. And this is an example of some of the great design that's happening out there. Let's keep looking at some great case studies and just showing you some other amazing pieces of work that's come out.
United Arab Emirates, an emerging EV market, where the primary source of charge is through public charging stations. And the first thing prospective buyers do before making the switch is look for charging stations near them. And this is what they see. Over 300 stations scattered across the city, listed with pictures crowdsourced by visitors. As the last ones to hit the market, we saw this as a chance to shit up. BMW presents the 𝐖𝐈𝐋𝐋, turning Google Maps into a virtual showroom. To launch our electric range, we took our shiny new Beamers and photobombed every EV charging station in broad daylight. That's right, each and every one of them. So when someone searched for the nearest charging stations, they were tempted by a BMW. Audi owners, they saw a BMW. Mercedes and Porsche, also a BMW. From every angle, including 360 views of the interiors, with QR codes intercepting every search with a chance to test drive our cars. We tried to keep it low-key, but then the region's leading motoring channel took notice.
بطلع على الثلاث صور لقيتهم كلهم BMW. تاني ضغطت على الثانية طلعوا لي كمان صور BMW.
Which got everybody else talking.
So I found something interesting. In every charging station that I searched for on Google Maps, I found a BMW in it.
Every time I'm open a charging
Google Maps, Test drives went through the roof. 2 out of 5 new bookings could be traced back to our virtual showrooms, and $2.2 million in earned media. While others were spending millions on all this, we literally did it for almost zero. BMW 𝐖𝐋𝐋.
Another amazing example that I have, just shows how little budget you need to spend to be able to do it. It's all about the great, great, great idea that you have out there. This is one of my favorite ones. If anyone likes tomato sauce, ketchup, even the most basic categories can be innovated on. So here's a great example of how you can innovate even in a very simple category, and this is for Heinz.
Attempted a mega squeeze of Heinz ketchup, causing ketchup to disperse in all directions. Claim 13. A family member of the claimants creates a ketchup spill that somehow finds its way onto a feline friend. Section A, Clause 1.4. Applicants may log their claims at HeinzKetchupInsurance.com or call 857-57-57 for emergencies.
Welcome to the Heinz Ketchup Insurance Hotline. Select your claim after the beep.
Section B, Clause 1.6. Only applicable to incidents involving ketchup. Heinz ketchup. Section C, Clause 2.1. Applicants will receive free services: cleaning, laundry, handyman, pet care, car wash, and more.
She can be a little clumsy sometimes.
This guy's a mess. Better see if I qualify for ketchup insurance.
Heinz releases the world's first ketchup insurance.
It's hilarious and fun.
Heinz Ketchup Insurance, the first ketchup insurance ever.
Covering 57 different types of claims.
Such a playful way to engage with inorganically viral trends.
That damn sachet is all over my couch and my...
So one of my favorite examples, just because it's funny, it's clever, it's all based on the great idea, and it's something that consumers absolutely love, and it's presented so well as a case form. Here's another one.
I would never switch to Samsung. I love my phone.
What?
Wait.
What?
Yep. After 6 months of tech research and development, we launched Fold Experience, a seamless mobile experience that uses web real-time communication technologies, ultra-low latency, plus complex device detection to instantly optimize for varying iPhone screen sizes, turning iPhones into Samsung Galaxy Z Fold. This groundbreaking mobile experience put Galaxy Z Fold directly into the hands of curious iPhone users. They can watch content with Fold's immersive view. Yep, that's pretty immersive. Do 3 things at once with multitasking. They can even play air hockey together.
We're phone buddies!
Whoa.
Dope.
Yeah, phone, isn't that pretty sick?
It is. It didn't stop there. Fold Experience created positive brand kudos for Samsung being the most innovative mobile brand. We reached 10.6 million installations within the first 5 months from launch, capturing iPhone users' attention for 116 seconds. 75% users changed brand perception positively. Purchase consideration shot up by 47%. Oh, we also improved retention, boosting proud-to-own scores amongst Galaxy owners. Nice. Fold experience. Hacking iPhones to sell Galaxy Fold phones.
So this is a beautiful example of really like a high-tech based example of how you can actually go out and do something really well. This is at such a high level in terms of the tech stack that needed to be created, that this is not stuff that we have the ability to do maybe just very, very easily, but I just thought it was such a beautiful example to show you what's happening out there. Now, one of the key things is, whenever I show these examples, a lot of people think it's inspiration. It's not really inspiration. I'm showing you a competition. The work that I've shown you are all winners at the Loerie Awards. These awards that are coming, that are winning here at the Loeries itself. And this is the kind of level that we want from the Silverback Awards that we're going to get to. And that's a competitive environment globally that you need to fight against. And I absolutely believe it. I've spent so much time in Uganda. I've spent so much time with this amazing community of creatives and marketers and PR professionals. And across everyone, I have to tell you, I think there's such amazing work waiting to come out of Uganda. And I'm really excited to be able to see it. And it all starts at one place. It starts at the Silverback Awards. So good luck to everyone. Get your entries in today. Your work deserves an opportunity to be recognized and rewarded by the industry, and for you to start this amazing journey. And that's it from me and telling you how to elevate the grind for 2025. Thank you so much, and I'll hand over to the team in Kampala. I'm not sure if anyone has any questions or anything while I'm here.
All right, Pritesh, you probably can't hear this, but in the room, we've given you a round of applause. So thank you so much for that very elaborate presentation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I'll pass the mic around the room. If you have questions, this would be a beautiful moment for you to ask before Pritesh steps off. The guy needs to sleep. He has spent 9 hours in a flight just to spare some few minutes for you. So if you have questions in the room, I'll pass the mic around so that you can ask. Cool. Paul, if you could come, because he needs to see you. Or, perfect. Okay, there's a camera over here.
All right. Mine is not a question, but just to... Sorry, my name is Paul Mwirigi from Capital One Group and also a member of the EXCO. Mine is just to say thank you very much to Pritesh and the team at Loeries. You guys have done absolutely very well to support UAA with regards to the Silverback Awards, and we look forward to seeing you here. Hopefully this year we'll speak to more marketers and CEOs, because I think the creativity message has been drummed down enough to the agencies, but we need to speak more to the CMOs and the CEOs who approve our budgets. Yeah, so looking forward to that engagement. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Paul, I can't see you, so I'm literally seeing just myself, and I recognize your voice, but thank you so much for that. I always appreciate you, my friend, and all the time we spend together. So looking forward to more time together soon.
Cool. Any more questions in the room? silverbacks@loeries.com. That's the email. Really suspenseful. If you have a question, you can. All right, thanks so much, Pritesh. A round of applause in the room if you can. Thank you so much for being a part of our launch this morning. We wish you, do we say good night if it's morning? But enjoy your day, enjoy your rest, and we surely will be expectant to see you in Uganda this November.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it, and good luck, everyone. And remember, the team is on standby to assist all of you with your entries. Don't hold back. Get as many in, and put yourself in line to win a Silverback Award. It means so much to the industry. So looking forward to seeing all of you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Thank you too. All right. We'll go on to the next. I think my highlight, I'll just share my highlight. My highlight from Pritesh's conversation was, when we sit in brainstorms, I think the question that will be lingering behind my back is, my mind, not my back, is, can I make this any better? Like after the big idea has come up, what we have written, the script, what can I make this any better? What a beautiful presentation. Thank you so much, Pritesh. All right, so we're going to talk about the Silverbacks 2025, what that looks like. And to talk about that is Nicole, our General Secretary at the Uganda Advertisers Association. Nicole, please come. If you can encourage her with a round of applause, she will come with a speedy. Nicole, thank you.